2, 1.
Oh my gosh, that was so epic.
I think that's it.
There he is.
You guys ready? Let's pull it.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh. Hey! And JB's on there!
600!
600! Yes! Yay! 600 mile time. That would be just.
So here we are, back with the real supercharger. Okay, we are on the test track.
They'd recommend putting your head on the headrest.
Okay.
There he's ready. Nope.
Yep. Oh, there it goes. Oh, that never gets old either. We have the post-study production cars here.
Wait, what?
Yeah, oh yeah, you watch it.
Well, why is he gonna throw it?
I don't know, but we're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Just use a sledgehammer. What?
Well, maybe that was a little too hard.
I'm Eric, otherwise known as Derek, here in Shanghai at Gigafactory 3.
Ballapalooza.
It's like tricks.
3, 2, 1.
Will it wipe is the big question of the day.
Will it what?
Generic cornflakes.
Whoa! It's raining cornflakes! This is trippy. Look, there's nothing here.
Okay, welcome everybody. August 30th. Hopefully you are watching the SpaceX launch. That's why we are a few minutes late, because we were watching it as well.
Another successful landing. Pretty
Another
cool.
one in the bag. Looks a little yellow though.
Yeah.
Huh. That looks white. I don't know why this looks yellow. It is what it is. Life will go on. Welcome everybody. So we're gonna get right into it because we have a lot of things to talk about.
Another big week, yeah.
Lots been going on. First and foremost, thank you to our new referrals. We have Delvin, Charles,
Mikael, I think.
Mikael. We have a Michael. Huge thanks to all you guys. Really, really appreciate it. And yeah, if anyone's looking for it, it's down below. But yeah, let's get right into the news. A lot to cover today. So first and foremost, the stock split is happening.
Yeah, 5 to 1. Woohoo.
5 to 1
It was
starting
really
on
cool.
Monday.
Basically, you know, that you had, it said like stockholder share as of like a week ago, but you could still trade it over the past week. And it was really nice because at the end of the market day, there was a slight drop. It continued to go up all last week. Till the last day, a few people were, I think, selling off a few shares.
Yeah,
but
locking in that profit.
It went down a little bit on Friday, but it was nice to see. Like I have most of my shares are through Fidelity, and it was cool to see because they split my shares, but they forgot, you know, they don't adjust the price right away. So for a while there, it looked like I had 5 times as much money in my account. Unfortunately, that's not the case. They fixed that. They always do. But it was nice to see the stock split.
Yeah, it would have been nice because I had the same thing. I have my investments through a couple different banks, and they all were the same way. All my accounts were like 5 times. It was awesome.
And
I wish I would have stayed like that.
And for those of you who don't know how the stock split works, basically, in this case, you're going to have 5 times as many shares, but at 1/5 the price. And the hope is that since the price will be a lot lower, down about 450 or so now instead of 2200, it'll be a lot more affordable and it'll trade more actively because people will be able to afford more shares at the lower price.
Oh yeah, I mean it's kind of like same thing with me. Like I've been really wanting to buy a lot more, and based on everything else in the comments, a lot of other people have had the same thing in their accounts. But I don't really do any fractional shares or anything like that, so that. Now that they're a little less, I definitely think they'll go back up in time. So it's a good time to jump on in. Super excited for that.
I was going to say some local news, and you know, it's the Pikes Peak hill climb or whatever was over the weekend, and that was some excitement for some Tesla enthusiasts.
Yeah, and so as you know, though, Randy did have an accident with the unplugged car. And unfortunately, the XPO car driven by Josh, that had an accident as well. Josh is doing well. He's now out of the hospital. I believe he had 4 fractured vertebrae, so send some love out to him. But Unplugged was able to rebuild that entire Model 3, which is wild. And
like 48 hours.
48 hours.
Like
they got a whole new car, rebuilt a lot of it. We actually went down to Colorado Springs to check it out. So I'm going to throw on some photos here, and we can talk about them. We're going to do a little picture-in-picture action. So here, basically they have this cool second screen up here, but the whole car was like gutted, roll cage, good friend there. That was us checking everything out.
That's the donor car on the right.
Yeah,
there.
so this is the donor car, and from the back, it actually doesn't look terrible. But I'll tell you, the whole thing is like gutted. Here's actually where the unplugged car hit the rock wall and kind of like took a big chunk out of it. We were with that car. Just some extra parts that were delivered. The roll cage, you can see it was actually like welded in. Really, really nice roll cage, not gonna lie. You can see, there's a good shot of the front. That whole front of the donor car is just gone.
But basically, they took both motors out of that. It's a performance car. I think it was 2019, and they took both motors out of those and put that into the unplugged performance car.
Yeah, and I have a few videos here, so we can see. This is the donor car. Everything's gone. Everything.
Except for the battery.
Well, except for the battery.
They did not swap out the battery.
Those reflector-looking things and the things on the wheels, those are actually for alignment. So that's what those were for.
Yeah.
They were doing a lot of alignment stuff while we were there. Here you can see the guys working on it. That blue stuff is actually
like a fiberglass
resin to use to fix stuff, and then some of this black stuff you can see kind of on the front is actually a adhesive sealer that they use to patch up a lot of this. But yeah, it's seen a little bit of wear, not gonna lie, but the fact that they were able to rebuild this is pretty darn wild.
And the cool thing, like the carbon fiber there, the fenders and everything, looks like it survived. So
yeah, exactly. You can see me filming. Awesome. Great. Love the reflection. But yeah, that dent's pretty intense, and they black taped a bunch of it because it didn't look great under that. Probably not the greatest for aero. Let's see. I think I have a few other videos. You can see they've got parts. That's a bunch of like carbon fiber in the bottom left there. Pieces that broke off. You got the bumper from the donor car. All kinds of stuff here. And I got one last video. This is the front of the donor car. As you can see,
Not much left.
not a lot going on. Yeah, it was pretty cool to go check it out. Not gonna lie, it was cool to see the guys there. Now, if you have been keeping up with the race, Randy actually got second, and Blake in the unmodified Model 3 got first. I think they were off by like 2 seconds. It was like
pretty
11
close.
minutes 2 seconds for Blake, and I think 11 minutes 4 seconds for Randy. So yeah, it was kind of cool. We got to go down there, hang out a little bit, check out the car. Yeah, kind of wanted to see it. It was fun to see. But yeah, let's see. Next up, we have the $1 million hacker offer. I don't know if you have seen this in the news, but basically someone approached an employee of Gigafactory and offered them $1 million to plant some malware, basically, so that they could hack into Tesla and steal like ransomware and hack in so they have information, and then go to Tesla and try to charge like $5 million for that information back and stuff like that. And luckily, the employee told Tesla, cooperated with the FBI, and the individual is arrested. He's a 27-year-old Russian citizen who was actually in the U.S., and he got arrested when trying to leave the country.
Wow, yeah.
So perfect timing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of interesting. I know a lot of companies have experienced attacks like this in the past several years. So the fact that the employee did the right thing, huge props to you. I don't know your name, but we appreciate you. It really does pay off to do the right thing, especially in these kind of cases. Next up, we have a big update coming in.
Yeah, basically, the last update that's been coming out for the last few weeks is 2020.32. Now 2020.36 is hit, and it looks like it might. There's discrepancy. There's some people discussing whether or not it contains some of the new software for the rewrite for autopilot. Some people tweeted Elon. He said it doesn't have it in there, but other people are looking at the code behind the scenes and say it looks like something's there. But some of the big new features on the 2020.36 release are that it will have the auto speed detection again. This is something that existed years ago in Autopilot 1 hardware, but ever since Autopilot 2 came out almost 4 years ago in October 2016, they haven't had speed limit detection. And that can be bad in some places because the GPS shows your location and the maps might not necessarily have the correct map data or the speed limit. And so that's a problem in some places. So it's now they're going to be able to read those speed limit signs again. So it's interesting. Hopefully we'll find some details on how they got around, because Mobileye had a patent on that. So hopefully Tesla found a new way to do that. Another feature they have is that green light will now have a chime when the light turns green. And that's just to kind of give you an alert that it's okay to go. Again, some of these features will require full self-driving hardware, so not everybody will get every feature. There's a few other things in this update as well. One of them is that if you have like a 3 or a Y, you can just touch the speed limit and it will set your speed to that speed limit. And of course, the usual small bug fixes that they don't really mention, but people discover later.
Yeah, it's kind of nice that this finally coming over. That speed recognition is huge.
Yeah,
and it was in the Autopilot 1 cars, which was actually done by Mobileye.
Yep.
But to now see Tesla finally doing it on their own is great. And there's a lot of talk about who owns a patent for that. Is there a patent for that? And there is. Mobileye owned it. What happened, whether or not Tesla has to pay a royalty or something, not entirely sure how that's working out.
One thing that we
yeah.
were talking about earlier too, about the with Tesla's new thing and how they do learning and they report everything back to the fleet. We're hoping that maybe they will start reporting these speeds, if they're inaccurate, back up to Tesla so they can get them updated in everybody's maps. If you have 20, 30 Teslas all going by, viewing the sign and seeing it, and you can either trust that speed or send it back to the the mothership, back to their network, and then have somebody review the speed limit and see that it needs to be corrected. Hopefully that would help with all these incorrect speeds that we're seeing in some places.
Yeah, exactly. And real quick, we have our first super chat
Okay.
of the night. Huge thank you, John, for the $5 super chat. He said, I have 32.3. I like how it rolls the windows up when the car
Yep.
locks.
We experienced that today. We were out filming a video, and I rolled down the window so I could hear Eric, and then I got out of the car, and then next time I got back in, it was rolled up. I was like, I thought maybe Eric had rolled it back up. So then I got back in the car, rolled both windows down, got out again, and then got back in. And the windows were rolled up again. So it's a nice feature, but I didn't know what was going on. And then I was like, oh yeah, that's a new thing that just rolled out. And we also got the notification. We were working, we had the frunk open, and we got a notification indicating the frunk had been open for more than 10 minutes. So that's another feature from the 2020.32 releases.
Yeah, it was kind of funny how that worked out because we were like, why is it locking?
Yeah.
And we learned. But yeah, definitely kind of a nice feature, not going to lie. But yeah, so as far as the Tesla reading the signs, it sounds like if Mobileye did have that patent, that they probably have to pay some kind of royalty or something.
Or they have a totally different way.
Yeah,
who knows?
exactly.
Because the patent could be on the method that's used. So it's possible Tesla came up with their own method. So we'll see. I'm sure we'll find out more in the future.
Yeah, maybe even Battery Day that'll come up. You never know. I'm sure they'll be doing a lot of talking then. Yeah. Next up, so this is gonna kind of bum some people out, but Apple has been starting to reject anything using Tesla's API. So any kind of app that has been using Tesla's API, because it's always been a rule for Apple that to use someone else's API, you have to have written permission from that company to do so. However, they really haven't enforced it much with the Tesla API, but it looks like that's a complete 180 now, and Apple is starting to reject a bunch of people and could potentially be kicking apps off of the App Store until they get that written permission.
And this is interesting. We've only seen it on Apple so far. We haven't seen it on the Google Play Store. But as Eric mentioned, there's tons of apps, tons of websites that use the Tesla API unofficially. And it'll be interesting to see if Tesla just totally bans all of these, or the Apple Store or the Google Play Store ban these apps, or if Tesla comes out with official licensing to these sites and requires these sites to have a certain level of security, or maybe even have a licensing fee or something. So it'll be interesting to see if Tesla totally bans it and then just comes out with these features themselves, because some of these sites like Teslafy and other ones offer you all kinds of tracking for your car, and so you can see all your different charges, how efficient it is, where you've been, and definitely neat to have, not necessarily a must-have, but it would be nice if Tesla offered these features.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is I want to make sure these apps are adhering to the same standard of security, because some of these apps you use tokens for, that's a little different, but some actually want like your username and password, and that's risky.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot going on.
Because then those third-party sites could track. You don't know if they're protecting that and who has access to it. But if they have the access to your username and password, then they could track your car down, and they could remotely unlock it and get into it and drive it off. So definitely, I think that's one reason Tesla's concerned. But also, we talked a couple weeks ago that Tesla's coming out with their two-factor authentication. So I think Tesla's just stepping up the security all around.
Yep, and speaking of all this, Like Watch Rebuild's channel just donated $5 super chat. Huge thank you for that.
Thank you.
They said, have you heard about the Tesla Watch talking about Apple?
That's
Yes.
another thing we were wondering.
Yes.
Is this competition, and are they trying to block the competition?
Exactly, but it sounds like this issue is really coming from Apple, not from Tesla.
Yeah.
So it's really up to Tesla as to whether or not they're going to allow people. I just want to make sure that all these apps using the Tesla credentials have the proper security. That's the big fear. Hockey Day, huge thank you for the $2.99 super chat. Really appreciate it. Yeah. Somebody said snakes today.
Oh,
later.
yes.
We'll bring them
coming
out.
up later. We will be
Don't
seeing a
worry.
couple. We'll have a couple guest
We'll have a couple
stars.
guest stars, exactly. Yeah. So third-party apps. We'll have to see kind of how they roll.
Yeah, because
really.
this kind of just came out like at the end of the week, so and I haven't seen a lot of news about it yet. Just a few people discussing. So definitely, it could have major implications for all these websites and apps.
Yep. Okay, so next up. So this comes from Testmanian.com, their blog. It is about Model 3 in China, coming out of Shanghai, is now going to have full Chrome delete.
Very similar to the Model Y.
Basically the same as Model Y, which can only mean one thing. it's coming to the U.S.
Hopefully,
I can't
yes.
see them doing Chrome delete in China and not in the U.S. That would blow my mind. Or maybe it's something that they'll eventually let people choose. Because a lot of people go Chrome delete. But now on Model Ys, I've been seeing a lot of photos floating around of people getting Chrome added onto their Chrome delete, which is not a Chrome delete because it comes that way. So now people are wanting their black trim Chrome. You can never please everybody.
Yeah, it'd be a nice option because I know when we first placed our orders back in 2016 for our first Model S's,
Yeah.
we asked, why can't you do that? And it would just create too many SKUs, they said. But, you know, Tesla has grown a lot. They've really ramped up production. So hopefully now they're at a place in time where they can offer that as a choice.
Definitely. I think it would really help out if they did have the choice. But at the same time, if they're going to start bringing it to 3, can we get it for S and X?
Yeah.
Really,
No-
to be honest.
Yeah. Another thing out of China, I saw that like supposedly the first Model Y has been spotted in China, and I'm guessing this was one that was shipped over there from the United States because I don't believe they have their production line up and running. And but that's cool to see that they are, you know, having the Model Y over there and probably doing, you know, some road testing stuff in preparation to get those locally built ones on the roads.
Yeah, I think one of the cool
Probably need
things
it
though
certified.
about it is it was wrapped with camo, and Tesla doesn't
Yeah.
do that. So that's, I think, the weirdest thing. I'm trying to find the photo of it real quick for you guys.
know what if it wasn't
It
Tesla
could
that
be a
had it?
customer's car.
Yeah, it's easy to tell in the United States. Tesla, you know, when they're sending cars, their mules around the country, they always have a manufacturer plate. So you know, oh, that's Tesla testing it in Michigan or they're testing it in Colorado. So if we see this car in China and it's wrapped like that, I don't think a a private buyer would wrap their car. But what if it's NIO or some other company that
so
brought
this
it over to
is-
test it out?
This is from the Testmanian blog, and you can see that's definitely a Model Y. It's probably an all-wheel drive, but it's camoed, which is very odd. We don't see Tesla do camo. So something to really kind of think about is, what is this car there for? We have our first guest of the night,
Mr. Kit.
Mr. Kit. Real quick, Watch Rebuild channel. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Digital confetti today. So unfortunately, I didn't get to
Maybe
finalize
next
all
week.
of it. I have it ready to go. I just didn't push it live yet because it was being a little funky. Nice thing with this new software is I can test stuff out before I go live with it. And yeah, I still need to do a little tweaking, but hopefully by next week. It's been a crazy week, not gonna lie.
A lot of stuff going on.
A very, very, very busy week. So yeah, next up, we actually got a sneak inside of the Model Y referral program winner video. It was posted on Teslarati by Teslaraj. And we actually got to hear of a winner. So the first winner we actually heard of was someone, I believe it was in Taiwan, right?
I believe so, yeah.
And so this winner is actually, I believe, in California. And
We've heard of
they just had a few referrals,
Yeah.
and yeah, they got
We've heard of
chosen.
2 or 3. I know a lot of people with the Tesla referral program, they don't announce who the winners are. They like to respect people's privacy.
Mm-hmm.
And usually the winners don't come forward, so people are wondering, are they really giving those cars away? But this is at least the 3rd or 4th car that I've heard that they've given away as part of the current referral program. And again, this is anybody who has a referral, who gets somebody to use the referral code, they go into a drawing. And this is, I believe, somebody that said they only had 1 or 2 referrals.
Yeah.
But it was enough. It's a random drawing, and it was enough for them to win a brand new Model Y.
Yeah, I mean, all you need is 1. We're not gonna lie, that's all you really need. So definitely, keep your eye out if you have referrals. Make sure you're checking your email, because as the couple in this article said, they thought it was a scam. So obviously, be careful who you're getting emails from, but this one was completely legit. So congrats off to them, and anyone who has used a referral code or had someone use their referral code, huge thanks to you for helping just Tesla's mission. Real quick, Elon Kerman, thank you for the $15 super chat. Really appreciate it. So thanks for all the amazing content. How can I be a mod? Your Streamlabs is broken. Are you familiar with Streamlabs? Because if so, email me. We'll work this out, because I could use some help.
How's it broken?
Yeah, how's it broken?
Or maybe he was just talking when you were talking about the confetti thing earlier, but I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know.
Hopefully it's working.
Let me know. And yeah, we can figure this out, because that would be great if I could get some help on this. So yeah, exciting to see some referral program winners. We haven't heard any Roadster winners though.
Yeah, because I think they're supposed to give those every quarter, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's once a quarter. So
Yeah. But we haven't heard much news on the Roadster at all. So they might have announced winners, but there's no cars to actually give away yet. So
True.
maybe once they actually give those away.
Yep. Elon Kerman, if you can email me at admin@teslainventory.com, that would be sweet. Just, yeah. We can talk there. Thank you. I appreciate it. Next up, we have an MCU 1 update.
Yeah, so as we mentioned, with older cars, they were having some MCU issues because the memory, the eMMC chip, was getting worn out and causing the computer to crash on those cars. And Tesla originally started offering entire MCU replacements, and it used to cost over $2,000. Then they brought it down to like $1,300. Then, as we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, they now offer that you can just get the daughter board replaced. And here's just Eric's got a picture of the daughter board here, but basically it's got a newer eMMC chips with has, I believe, up to 8 times as much memory as the older ones.
That's this guy right here,
and
right?
So that really should make it so, yes. Well, I don't know, but that's the daughter board that they replaced. But basically, these new cards memory will last much longer for the life of the car, because Tesla 1 did a software fix to reduce the amount of logging, but by having so much more RAM than what they actually be, storage space on the chip than what they actually need, it should make it so that they don't wear out like the previous ones. The chip, or the MCU daughter board, is supposed to only cost about $120, and then you might have labor of $195 or so. Some people are also being charged a diagnostic fee. One thing you might ask is, if you know your car is having a problem, if you're seeing a lot of the screen going black or it getting locked up, just tell them you want the daughter board swapped out and see if you can avoid that diagnostic fee, because chances are they're going to, if you don't tell them what you want, they're going to charge you a diagnostic fee, then you're going to charge you labor on actually swapping out the card. We have seen some people have been able to avoid that diagnostic fee.
Yeah, exactly.
It's unfortunate they don't apply that diagnostic fee to cover the labor.
That, I think, is kind of lame.
They should know too. These old cars all have this problem if they've been used a lot, and so it's like they should know. There really shouldn't be a diagnostic fee, in my opinion.
I 110% agree. Or the diagnostics fee should just be applied towards the final fix.
Because most of these cars are already out of warranty because they're older cars. Some newer cars, 2016, 2017 are seeing the issue, so they might still be under warranty, but older cars from 2012 to like 2015 or so are not under warranty. And it's still maybe only a $500 fix if you do have that diagnostic fee, but if you can avoid it, another $200 charge, definitely ask that when you talk to your service advisor or create that appointment in the app for your service visit.
Yup. Next up, so we did that.
Next thing, well, it's not Tesla related, but it's NIO, which
still
is
exciting.
And their stock's going amazing there in China, and who knows if they'll make it to the United States. But basically, NIO is going to be offering batteries as a service. So basically, instead of buying the car and owning the battery, you're going to kind of be subscribing, or you don't own the battery. And this is one way to make the car cheaper. And also, it should allow you to do battery upgrades. And that's one thing a lot of people have been interested in with Tesla. If you bought an older car that had a 60 kilowatt hour or 75 kilowatt hour battery, a lot of people have been interested in extending the life, and upgrading to like a 100 kilowatt hour battery. So it'd be interesting if Tesla ever takes this on. I know in Europe, some other electric car manufacturers have offered like a battery as a service, or they've leased the battery separately. So it'd be interesting if Tesla ever takes that up.
Yeah, real quick, I know we were talking about the Streamlabs. I'm going to put that in there. I think that's the right link. Sorry, Elon. We were going back and forth. But yes, real quick, we got some super chats we got to address.
Oh, wow.
Elon, thank you for the $2 super chat. Sent you an email, saw it. I think that's the right Streamlabs link. Let me know. But I'll message you back on some other stuff too. Watch Rebuild channel, thank you for the $5. Said, did you feed the dogs before the show this week? We didn't, but we're doing the show a little
earlier, so
hopefully, we can be done at a decent hour. Or you know what? Maybe we'll just bring it in here and they can eat.
They might be loud
while we chat.
We'll see.
But yeah, they can be loud, and Kit can be a little messy. He likes to flick his food kind of everywhere. It's kind of funny. So where were we? Talking about the NIO?
Yeah, we finished up with that, so I guess
Perfect.
It's just the...
I guess it's just solar update time, which unfortunately we still don't have a fix for our issue. We're getting close.
Yeah, our system's still working fine. It's just our utility company is providing some dirty power. The transformers should be replaced. They just haven't done it yet. So that's just causing some outages on some of the hot days. But we're still, producing solar. We did have a lot of smoke from fires.
Oh, yeah.
In our there's fires that were in western Colorado and also in California. The smoke was coming in, so that did reduce our solar production a little bit. It seemed like it was about 25% this past week. We produced 528 kilowatt hours for the week. We only consumed 478, so we did have a surplus of about 30 or so kilowatt hours. Not as huge compared to some of our previous weeks, but definitely still having some good solar. We did have some clouds and some rain in the last couple of days as well. So, for the year, we're still doing great. We have about 4,500 kilowatt hours surplus for the year, and our utility does let us roll those over. So right now at that rate, we should have about 2.5 months worth of power saved up. So if our system was totally shut off, or there was like a volcanic eruption and we had a solar
blackout
for like 2.5 months, we would still be covered. We wouldn't have an electric bill just because we produce so much. We thought we were going to hit 20,000 kilowatt hours for the year, but we're just shy of that, so we'll hit that tomorrow. So that's amazing production on our solar system. We definitely appreciate it. We just wish that the utility would get things fixed.
Yeah, it's been a nightmare. I can't wait to have it all finished dealing with our utility company. Again, though, this is something that the utility company is just sending dirty power, and it's causing our system to jump out of the frequency range, and then it makes our system think that the power was cut to the house, so we can't send anything back. Everything is still working great. We're not losing power, but we just can't send anything back.
Yeah.
And some days we had 30-something issues like that, and every time it cuts it for 5 minutes. So when you multiply that out, that's a lot.
Some of our days we're losing
sun in the bank.
Maybe 20-30% of our solar is not being exported back to the grid,
which is crazy.
Yeah.
And we're still working with them to try to fix that. I see Colton said Denver was second worst air quality in the world for a while.
It was really bad. It was really bad.
Yeah.
This week wasn't so bad, but the week before was pretty bad.
Yeah. And real quick, On asks, can you just go off the grid permanently? Add more panels if needed.
We could, but one of the benefits of being on the grid is that's kind of acting as a huge
giant
power
wall.
Or, so we do have our 4 power walls, which we've gone off the grid for 8 days before. It was over 200 hours. It worked fine. The problem is that if you have a surplus, the solar system just shuts down, because if you're not on the grid, there's nowhere to send it. Some ways you could handle that is maybe to increase your electrical usage, or you could put in electric water heaters or other things to take advantage of that. But without the grid, there's nowhere to send it. So there are benefits to be on the grid. And also, I think in some places you can't have a house that's habitable unless it is connected to the electrical grid.
And once you are connected, getting off is basically impossible.
It can make it hard to sell the house and stuff like that. So we definitely, it's good to be on the grid. And like I said, we're having a big surplus. We have 4,500 kilowatt hours that we've hit back. So if we weren't on the grid, that energy would have not been produced, because the solar systems would have been shut down on those days.
Exactly. It would have been, not ideal. But now that we're done with the news, oh wait, it was.
Yeah, I noticed that. We've been missing the...
I missed the Tesla letters at the top the whole time.
Okay, wait, look, here we
Nobody
go.
told me. Oh, well, it's okay.
We are now
We'll leave
live.
it lit.
There we go.
It's going to be lit.
It's lit.
And then one other thing, I just want to make sure I get this address correct. We're going to be doing something new here. So we've been seeing a lot of Tesla dash cams, and a lot of people have been sending their clips to me. And so we are going to be doing probably one a week, maybe one a month. I don't really know how it's going to go yet, of Tesla dash cams. If you have a clip, send it on in. We actually have teslacam@yahoo.com. If you want to send your clip to that email address with a short, couple sentence blurb about what happened,
Yep.
that could be featured in an upcoming video. And if we use your video, you will be entered into a monthly kind of giveaway, where we give away either cars,
not
SSD, okay, sorry, not cars, not those kind of cars, but little Hot Wheel cars, SSDs, whatever. Wow, crap, I almost got screwed on that one. Good catch. So definitely, if you have clips like that, send them on in, and we'll put those and compile them Yeah, I completely agree with you on. I wish I could send it directly from the vehicle, and we've talked about that in a lot of different
Hopefully, that could be a software
things.
feature. Yeah.
Exactly. And it could just be you tell the car you want it sent to an email address, and it won't do it until it gets to Wi-Fi. I'm fine with that, but at least like put that in a queue.
Yep.
Real quick, Corey, $4.99 super chat. Huge thanks.
Oh, thanks.
Said, any thoughts or knowledge on third-party tow hitch cover for Model Y? Thanks, guys. Well, it's funny you should ask. We have a fun little video. Actually, we have a couple fun little videos coming up. And one of them, we actually go over like some tow hitch covers, but they're not going to be your average cover.
Yeah.
We went for the complete extreme obnoxious
He's probably
stuff.
wanting one that covers the hole in the bumper.
So if you want one with that, I found one on Amazon. It's actually also in the video, so you can kind of see how it looks. But it was only like $10, and it's like a little like rubber cover that's got a little like thing so it doesn't fly off. That's probably your go-to. I would definitely do something like that.
So we should see that probably later
Pablo,
this week.
RGB tow hitch covers, you're not wrong. We got some fun stuff there, so yeah, it'll be kind of funny. Diego with the $5 super chat. I don't know if the notifications come across yet, but I see it here. Said, love the live chat. Do you guys like the new Model Y amber color taillight turn signals? I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah, I've seen it. I think that's probably going to, I don't know if that just for Europe and other markets, or is that going to be in the United States? I haven't seen them yet in the United States. I've just seen pictures.
Yeah, we've just seen like pictures. I've seen a couple videos, but I really haven't seen too much besides that. So hopefully we can catch some more. But they've been changing, like they changed the headlights, the tail lights.
Supposedly, yeah, because we mentioned
A
that
bunch
in
of
the
other
past
stuff,
week.
too.
That this looks like the Tesla Model 3 lights. the
Diego
headlights
said they
lights
are
and-
here also.
as
His
well.
buddy just got it.
Oh, cool. Oh, I haven't seen those yet. We'll have to go down and check those out.
Yeah, we'll have to go check them out. That's kind of cool. Yeah. And then, let's see. I think that was kind of it. So, if you do have any dash cam stuff, definitely send it our way because we'll send you free stuff. It'd be pretty fun. Let's see. Dan said, what sizes are you doing for Model Y winter tires? Size and rim style. So, we're going to be doing something from T Sportline. In terms of rims, in terms of tires, probably going to go with either a 19 or 20 inch. Definitely not going to probably do a 21 inch. But I'm still deciding
Yeah, because currently
what
we have
size I want to go
currently
with.
we have the TSS Flow on one of the Model S's and on the Model Y, and those look nice. They look kind of like the Arachnids. And so if you keep those on there, you could just swap out the tires and put on winter tires on there, and then put your other set of tires or wheels back on next summer.
Yeah, and so one thing I do that is a little bit extra that most people don't care to do is I have two sets of rims, one with summer tires, one with winter tires, because changing the rims is something I can do. Changing the tires is something I can't do. So when the tires do need to be changed, I have someone actually come to the house, and actually it's almost the same price as going somewhere. And they bring tires, they have all their tools, they mount, balance everything, and they'll do it there. But in terms of like switching out the winter and summer tires, it's something I can easily just do here, just switching out the rims. Yeah, the T Sportline stuff is really nice. Let's see.
I see An was asking
yeah.
if those brake lights are going to be swappable with older Model Ys. I don't know. That's a good question.
So
maybe not.
I guess it really depends on how their software connects to the light.
Yeah, because I heard I thought I read someplace in a forum that somebody tried that, but he still just got red. It didn't recognize it or something. So we'll see. But maybe it just required a newer software update.
Yeah.
Or maybe it requires a technician to do it, because there are some things that require the technician to hook into your car and reprogram it slightly in order to get it to recognize the new software.
Which
or
some
hardware.
stuff I think it should just be plug and play.
I wish it was all plug and play. Yeah.
Kind of like a computer. I can plug in a USB drive and boom.
And as we saw with the cameras on the Model S, we swapped out the side repeater cameras a few weeks back, and it used to be on my Autopilot 2 car. It was not monochrome, but it didn't have really good green and blues. And we bought some of the latest cameras, which are the ones used on brand new Model S's and X's, and just put those onto my car, and now I have better color on my side repeater cameras, and that shows up on the dash cam videos and the Sentry Mode videos. So it'd be nice if all the Tesla software worked that way, plug and play. But we're not seeing that with some things.
Yeah. Let's see. Jeff said, "Do you know if T Sportline will be running any sales or promotions anytime soon?" As of right now, I don't. Currently, the only one I'm aware of is the referral code $50 off any purchase $500 or more, which I believe is in the description. If it's not, let me know and I'll put it up here because I do have that available for you guys. As far as any other ones, I'm not familiar with right now. Haven't heard any. Let's see. Robin said, "Love the Tesla logo on your cars. Where did you get those and how much did they cost you?" So I actually bought the wrap and everything, and one of my local guys here cut them out for me. So as terms of having somebody else do it, I'm not entirely sure what that would cost or anything. You could reach out to a few
Or if
people.
you have might be able to do smaller ones on your own if you had a Cricut or a Cameo machine, but
Oh, yeah.
the ones we have are big,
Giant,
they wouldn't fit on those. But we can do the smaller logos, with Derek on the front on our own machines, but for these we have to take them someplace else.
Yep.
Get them done someplace else.
Elon Kerman said YouTuber Jeff Roberts has daily drone videos of Giga Texas, and I believe that's whose videos I have been watching. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Let's see. Blackhouse said, "I don't want to do wrap or PPF, need to keep it cheap and simple. What do you recommend to protect the paint of a white Y? Want to do it myself, but not too hard." I mean, I would just shop around depending on what your budget is. You can sometimes get professional PPF installed on the front quarter of the car. So your hood, your front bumper, the big spots. Sometimes as cheap as $1,400, maybe even cheaper. Try shopping around. PPF is really hard. I tried to install it myself and it was a nightmare. Ask him. It was a lot of
and that was
cursing. It was a lot of...
It was even pre-cut, and but also the pre-cut ones, it would work if you can't afford the ones that are professionally done. But since it's pre-cut, you have to have it lined up just right, and you can see where it doesn't wrap around on the edges. So it's not it's not as good as a professional one.
Yeah.
That's
So
custom
I mean,
cut.
I would just shop around, to be honest. Otherwise, I would say probably the best option would be a good wax job. I would say that's probably the best. I see we got another super chat. Let me jump to that. Huge thanks to Bill for the $5 super chat. I said, "I canceled my Model Y performance order for a Model X long range Raven. Still thinking if I made the right decision or not." I mean,
They're both
to be
good
honest,
cars.
if you don't because I guess the price is actually kind of similar. It's really not that big of a delta like it used to be.
Yeah.
But the nice thing with the X that I will give you 100% props for is you got that Raven suspension. You got the air suspension. Absolutely love
and
it.
the bioweapon defense.
The bioweapon defense mode, the more room. You got the Falcon Wing doors.
And we don't know.
I mean,
we don't know how much if you got the 5, 6, or 7 seater, but you have that flexibility. If you have 6
Exactly.
or 7 people, you can't do that in a Model Y.
Exactly. So, I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't bat an eye at that.
It's funny. Where did we see that question? Someplace earlier today, you said if you had a choice between a brand new Model Y and a Model S at the same price.
Yeah, I think I saw it on Twitter. It was
Yeah.
between a 3 and an S.
Okay, 3 and an S. Yeah. It's if they were the exact same price, I would choose the S any day.
100%.
Just because it's got the extra screen, all this stuff. Maybe some of the technology is older, but as Eric mentioned, it's got the air suspension and bioweapon defense mode and some of the other cooler features. And I just think it looks better. But if not everybody is offered the same price, you can't. They're not at the same price. So that's just one of those questions that doesn't. It's not real life.
Yeah, but I mean, don't feel bad. I think Model X is an amazing car. I would have still had my X had it been a Raven. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I would have kept it, but it wasn't, so it didn't happen.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, we bought a Model X last year. We were one of the very first cars that had Autopilot 3 hardware. We took it apart and showed you what it looked like. But a week later, they came out with all the Raven enhancements, and we missed out on those. So we decided to sell that car while it was still before it
New.
lost too much value. It
Yeah.
was brand new, and it had, I think we listed it only had 900 miles or something, and by the time we sold it, it had less than 2,000 miles. And that was with us driving it to
deliver it.
deliver it, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a great car, though. We like the
I love
Y
the
too.
X. I absolutely love the X. Maybe I'll be in another X soon. I mean, you never know. Weird things have happened. Let's see. Aaron said the gauge cluster screen on my MCU1M Model S is failing, and the car will not start unless the screen turns on, which can take 2 to 3 minutes. Have you
Yeah.
experienced that issue before? Have you heard of that?
Well, the thing is with the older card with MCU1, the instrument cluster was actually a second computer, and it's weird because a lot of people don't report problems with that. But if the main screen is having problems, then that's a sign that MCU1 memory is going bad, and that's
Yeah.
where you're going to need the eMMC chip replaced, or again, you could do the entire MCU. But chances are, just swapping out the RAM on the daughter board the entire daughter board, which includes new RAM, will fix that issue. But yeah, you might need to get that checked by a Tesla. And that's one of those, if you're seeing it on the instrument cluster, you don't know if it's just the MCU1, you're going to have that diagnostic fee.
Yeah. Hopefully they can start rolling that diagnostic fee over because
And there is
it's like $175.
Yeah, and there is an investigation being done by the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration where some people have complained about this because with the screen going out, the memory going bad, it makes it so you can't control the functions since it's setting the charge and setting the air conditioner or the heater. And so people have complained about this, saying it's a safety feature because you also can't see the rear view camera. And so the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration, NHTSA, is researching. And it's possible there might be some guidance that they tell Tesla that you have to swap these out. So anybody who's paying it, maybe if the government decides, you might be getting a refund, but we can't say that because it hasn't been decided yet.
Yeah,
But-
you never know.
But just know that if you pay for it now, there's a chance that the government will say that Tesla has to reimburse people. There have been other lawsuits and stuff in the past for autopilot and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens with this. But it is nice that Tesla has brought the price down because originally you had to get a brand new MCU or upgrade to MCU2 for $2,500, or they brought out the MCU1 for like $1,300. Now that it's only less than $500 for the eMMC daughter board upgrade, it's a great deal.
We are joined by Kit again.
Yeah,
He would like to welcome you
pacing
all
back
to the
and forth.
chat.
Yeah. I haven't seen Leighton yet, though. Oh, Eric, I see that somebody said that we hit 500.
Oh, Jesus. And also, thank you, Dan, for the $19.99 super chat.
Oh, Leighton's got to come and check it out. What's going on?
Kit's got confetti on him. Oh, okay.
They're like, what's going on? They haven't
Um,
been in the room for those before, but
know.
normally they come in. I don't know if he's going to come back after that.
I have to clean all this crap up every night. Thank you for the $20 super chat, Dan. Really, really appreciate
Yeah.
it. Said, hey guys, Model Y delivery is
Cool.
September 9th.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
We've been waiting. We saw that Dan used our referral code a few weeks back,
Yep.
and he's given us a few updates. So it's good to see he's got a delivery date now.
Yeah,
so
congrats on that. Hopefully
only-
everything goes well.
That's only a little over a week away.
Yeah, if you post pictures on Twitter or anything, make sure you tag us. We would love to see the new Model Y. And congrats again. It's going to be a tough, 10 days of sleeping. Not going to lie. Every time it's just exciting. But huge congrats on that. Let's see, where was I? Terry said, how awesome would it be for Tesla to send an update to brighten all taillights on current Model Ys? I wonder if they could do that.
I don't know if they could. You
I'm
never
sure
know.
they could.
There's all kinds of things they could do, and who
Yeah.
knows? Because they keep modifying the software so that the odors are more efficient.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
who knows? I don't know if they can actually do that without lights, but that would be interesting.
Yep.
They did some software updates a few weeks back where they can make it so they flash and stuff in non-US markets. So it'd be nice if they could do some of these in the US as well. Yeah.
I better go charge up the vacuum. I'm gonna need to clean this later. Watch Rebuild's channel said, do you know if the Tesla employee that reported the malware issue got a bonus from Elon? I mean, I'm sure they did something. Because to give up, one, what the person was trying to do was illegal, first and foremost. But $1 million is a lot of money, and the
To
fact
turn
that
down,
they rooted for Tesla rather than the person with the malware, huge props to them.
And also, when you think about it, he lost out on the $1 million for the bribe or whatever.
But if
he
it
saved
found
probably
out,
millions
yeah.
or billions for Tesla.
Exactly,
So
but
that,
if he would have been found out, he would have been in jail for a long time anyway.
But I
so.
mean, he really helped Tesla out by reporting that.
100%. Let's see. 88 said Tesla 3,600. So 3,000 to 600 after split.
Yeah, after the split.
I'm down
that
with
would be
that.
nice. I mean, it really skyrocketed.
It did.
'cause before, I got in when it was a lot cheaper because once they announced that split, it just went up. And we hit like 2,000, I think, last week, and then it kept going up to over 2,200. So
Oh, yeah.
I could see it, that split, it could go up $100 in a day, once it's 400, 450, whatever, it's going to go 500, 600.
This is
eventually.
not investment
Yeah.
advice. I need to just asterisk that real quick.
The bad thing though is often after a stock split, a lot of people sell off a lot of their extra shares, and that can push the price down. So if you see the price go down for a little bit, it's not. I don't think it's anything permanent. They've got so much good stuff going on that it's going to go right back up.
Exactly. KK said, did anyone get the FM radio working with MCU2 yet? So we've done some digging, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to be possible without some input from Tesla.
Yeah.
Or
you have to have root access, which is being able to hack into your car and flip some bits and turn it on yourself. But also you need to swap out the analog tuner with the digital tuner. And while you might be able to buy those parts online and install it yourself, it won't work because it's not plug and play. And that's one of those things we were talking about earlier. It would be nice if all of the Tesla software was just plug and play, and if you plug it in, it would see, oh, you've got a digital tuner, you need to have your FM radio back. Unfortunately, it requires Tesla to flip some bits and turn on that feature, and right now they're not offering that as a service.
Yeah, I think maybe in the future they will, but yeah, right now it just doesn't look like that's going to be something that's possible, which is kind of a bummer.
We definitely would appreciate it, just because
100%.
I don't listen to FM, especially now that I don't drive so much. But there's like a drive-in, a pop-up drive-in that showed up nearby, and in order to attend the drive-in, you tune in on your radio, and in my S100D can't do that anymore. So
yeah,
we'd have to take a different car.
Yeah, if anyone from Tesla's watching, I know it's probably a short back burner thing, but doing that would really be appreciated by a lot of people.
But also for safety reasons, because this hurricane that just went through down in Texas and Louisiana knocked out a lot of cell phone towers. But you really only need if the radio station is still online, they can still be broadcasting and you can receive your news that way. If you can only stream audio and cell phone towers down, that's really going to limit your coverage. So it'd be nice for safety purposes if they supported FM radio still on these cars.
Yeah. We have another $5 super chat from Watch Rebuild's channel. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Said, have you guys heard of the TCAN tool to work on your own Tesla? It's a $1,500 tool.
Oh.
Is that the one that is sold by Tesla?
I don't know. I haven't heard that. I know that
I think that's the one that I've heard that's sold by Tesla, because you can buy. I think it's only available in certain states that have the right to fix law.
I know there's also a tool that they offer that's for crash investigations and stuff.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
I don't know about this one, so I would have to research that.
I don't know. We'll research that. Thank you, though, for letting us know. I was not, I guess, familiar with that one. Robin said, do you think paying for full self-driving is worth it for the tech now, or is it a future investment? I exchanged my 2015 Tesla Model S with a 222,000 miles and got a performance Model S without full self-driving. I mean, it's really kind of up to you and how much you would actually utilize those features. Since they split enhanced autopilot and full self-driving, a lot of it got pushed into full self-driving. So a lot of it is something I would use more so now.
Yeah,
but
I preferred how it was back in 2016, 2017, where they had enhanced autopilot, and that way, if you just wanted auto lane change and stuff like that, and then when they came out with Navigate on autopilot, that was part of that package. But now they've kind of moved stuff to the full self-driving, and you have to pony up the whole $7,000 or $8,000. So it's a big chunk. And the nice thing is you don't have to buy that when you first get the car. You can add it later on.
Yeah.
So. I would still say that I would get it, and we've got it, for better or worse, we've bought it on every car that we bought. We've spent a lot of money on full self-driving, but we definitely appreciate it, especially on road trips, just because you never have to turn off autopilot when you're doing lane changes. Just tap the signal, or with auto lane change now, you don't have to do that much. I definitely appreciate it.
Especially on road trips and everything, it's really wonderful. Bill said, in response to the Model Y versus Model X thing, it wasn't a big difference in monthly payment, so I opted for the X because I like the air suspension, the heated steering wheel. Didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
But yes, that comes in really clutch if you are in a cold environment. I'm not looking forward to the winter.
Yeah.
We'll say that. Nice thing is you can preheat the car, but still, the heated steering wheel was
definitely
so
appreciate
nice.
that. The first year that I had my Model S, I didn't use that at all, but then for some reason I turned it on and I was like, whoa, this is pretty nice.
Yeah, it's super nice. I love it. Let's see. Lauren said, I missed some of the news. Did you talk about the autopilot crash into police cars?
I didn't see that one.
I did not either. apparently we missed some news.
What's up?
If you have a link to that story, drop it in chat. I'll make sure to approve the comment and we can check it out.
I don't know if they can put links in chat though. I know some people have tried in the past.
Okay,
Or does
maybe
it
you
need to
can.
be
I think it
approved?
needs to be reviewed, so
Okay.
I'll review it, and if
Okay.
it's that, then we'll allow it. Let's see. Autopilot 1 MCU seems fine, but the instrument panel has a big air bubble around it.
Yeah, that's something, especially with older, like before 2016, I think they had a lot of problems where the liquid in the LCD screen kind of oozed out. And yeah, you probably need that screen replaced. But I know the prices come down from what it used to be.
Yep. And then we have an update from Randy on his 4 non-working Powerwalls from last week. He said Tesla came out Wednesday and said the computer in the gateway had a surge and they're ordering a new one. So now we wait ... Hopefully it is not that long of a wait. I would imagine the gateway is something they could swap out hopefully
yeah.
sooner than later.
I can't remember. Did he say if his solar was still working, or is it totally down, or is it just the Powerwalls that are down?
I can't remember. If
we're
you're in
still-
chat, Randy, let us know.
Because we've had our solar
nice.
running for 2 years now, just over 2 years. We got it installed in July of 2018. We didn't have the official authority or permission to operate until September, but it's been installed for 2 years now, and I can't imagine. I would really be annoyed if our system wasn't working. Luckily, it's been up, but can you imagine not having our our system producing power every day and living
I'd
off
be
our
pretty
Powerwalls?
PO'd.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. And then kind of on that, Steve said solar and Powerwall install on Wednesday. Any advice or last minute suggestions on what to watch out for? You're more up on the solar and Powerwall,
Yeah,
so
I don't know.
I'll let
Hopefully,
you take this one.
I would just, maybe when they show up, talk with the head guy and just make sure they're understanding where they're supposed to be installing all the panels
true.
and stuff, all the boxes on the side of your house or in your garage, wherever you're getting them placed, because they sometimes need to rearrange things. While you've planned everything in advance, they might get there and find out you have an extra pipe or an extra electrical line or something that is in the way. And so I would just walk through with them if you can, and just make sure if you have any concerns, express it with them. And they sometimes have to put panels in different spots too, because they might find you have a vent or something up there they didn't know about. So just discuss it with them, and they'll usually tell you what they do before they make any installation changes.
Definitely. Let's see. John said, any idea on price of a 2-wheel drive Model Y or heat pump in Model 3? So, unfortunately, nothing on neither one of those fronts. Heat pump on the Model 3, they probably won't change the price, to be 100% honest.
I don't think they would, because
I would think they would just swap it out.
Yeah.
And if it is any more expensive, take that little hit. As far as the Y, there were some things posted that it looked like it was going to be, what, like $2 to $5 grand cheaper?
yeah, for rear-wheel drive.
I think it was like $2 grand.
And in the past, yeah, we've seen
It didn't seem like a big amount. So, not entirely
not
sure.
huge. But something we mentioned last week, and somebody just brought up with the heat pump, is there's rumors that the heat pump will be coming soon to the Model 3. So we've seen that the frunk has changed. It looks like there's more room for it now. Maybe they just ran out of the old parts that they used for the frunk, but I wouldn't be surprised. As we also discussed, the factory in Ireland that had the contract to build the resistive heaters, that contract ended, so that leads more, it looks like they're going to be moving to the heat pump soon on the 3.
Definitely. And real quick, SpaceX just tweeted the deployment has been confirmed. In case any of you are watching and are curious, deployment was good. Let's see. Any idea of when the new chime, when stoplight goes green, will work without full self-driving? Maybe never. They might keep that FSD
might
exclusive.
require that, yeah.
I bet they would.
It'd be interesting to test. So we'll basically, we have cars with Autopilot 2.5 and Autopilot 3, so we definitely we'll try it on the S that has 2.5 without full self-driving, if we ever get that update.
Yep. Let's see. Frank said, why not just use your phone to stream FM?
You can. Our phones actually have an FM chip in them, but it's not enabled by our network providers, which is stupid, because I think that the networks, are trying to get you to pay for data and to use streaming, and so they have disabled the FM chip in our phones. And whenever we try to use, I think the app is Last FM, it should allow you to use that chip. It pops up a message saying, sorry, contact your provider. And so there's also ways you could stream via the internet, but that would be the same as what they're doing with TuneIn. And not all stations are streamable via like TuneIn, or at least I suppose you have more on your phone.
Yeah.
But like TuneIn doesn't include every station, and the station I listen to is not available on TuneIn anymore. It moved to a different thing, like radio.com, I believe. And it would be nice if Tesla, if they're not going to support officially FM on the tuner, the digital tuner, it would be nice if they would add a couple more apps so you could do like
Radio.com,
or I Love Radio or iHeartRadio or whatever. You know.
Yeah, any of those would be much appreciated. Let's see. Terry said, charging question. Do you stay plugged in when you are at home? Yes. I mean, lately there hasn't been a ton of driving going on, but I do. So as soon as I get home every night, I plug the car in, and then it's scheduled to charge. I believe mine's at 5 or 6 a.m.
Closer to 6, yeah.
And then I normally leave an hour or so after that, and then as far as the S, he keeps that plugged in and moderates it a little bit to try to charge it off solar.
Yeah, so basically, since I don't do driving a lot, since I'm working from home, I usually just have mine set to about 50, 60%, maybe a little more if we know we're going to go on a road trip. We only have 3 of the wall connectors, but we have 4 Teslas in the garage, so every once in a while we have to move the wall connector over to plug in one of the other cars. But since we do have that load balancing, it handles the charge, and keeps everything so that each car can charge at its maximum, but we don't have to have separate circuits going to each of those cars.
Yep. OP Cars said, who are these people and how did they steal a supercharger? Wasn't stolen. We need to clarify that.
Yeah.
It is a real supercharger. It was actually an old display unit at a Tesla store that we bought. We have a video on it. If you haven't seen it, check it out. But it has a cool little base and everything. It lights up.
It's real.
It's got the light there.
It's V3 or V2, sorry. So the cable is a lot thicker than what you will find on the brand new V2 superchargers, but it's really hefty. I mean, this cable probably weighs like, I don't know, 10 pounds or more.
Yeah.
But
We're gonna start lifting weights with it.
these were actually in the stores, for those of you who haven't been following Tesla for all the years, these were in the stores up until about 2017 or so, just to kind of introduce to new owners what superchargers looked like, because they were still not everywhere in the country. And so these were in the stores, and as they started adding the Model 3 and needing to put that into the store, they started cleaning out the superchargers, and also they had like the skateboard of the like Model S. And so you might still see a few of those around. I doubt they're in stores anymore, but basically, I think they got recycled. The one that was in our
This
local
was
store.
Put in a different state by a dumpster to be thrown out, and apparently somebody saw it, grabbed it, and I bought it. And I think it's sweet. It's probably one of the best things I've ever purchased in my life, minus the Teslas. Let's see. On said, I read somewhere that the new single casting for the rear of Model Y results in 30% weight reduction and 20% increase in crash safety. If true, that's really significant. Very much so. I'm going to wait to hold out exactly and see what Tesla says, because, to be honest, I think it might be even better than that. But I'm curious to know how they're going to fix cars that have been in crashes. How's that going to work? Is this going to lead more total losses?
Yeah.
Or how's that going to work?
It'll definitely protect the occupants better, but will the car survive?
Exactly.
I mean, the car will survive, but is it going to be repairable?
Exactly. Pedram asked, do you think Tesla may pull full self-driving upgrade payment and move to a subscription plan instead, kind of like they did with supercharging?
Yeah, we haven't heard about that recently.
Yeah, well, Elon did say that they will be offering a subscription service for full self-driving in the future. I think he said by the end of 2020, if I remember correctly. Haven't heard anything about that, but for me, for it to be viable for Tesla, it's going to have to be a premium price for that subscription cost.
Because they're not going to sell it cheaper than what they've already been selling it at. Because
exactly.
They keep raising the price on it. They're not going to give it to you, if that allow you to rent it for $20 a month, because then everybody would just buy that and nobody would pay the $8,000 and they would lose out on that income stream. So we did a video on this several months ago, and it's like they're going to have to charge a lot for that on a monthly basis, and then I don't think anybody's going to want to pay hundreds of dollars a month for a software feature. What I think would be nice though is if you did buy it, it would be nice if they let you just buy like a license and use that. If you have multiple vehicles, it would be nice if you didn't have to necessarily pay it, and if you could save some money by using it on different cars.
Long story short, we've spent almost $70,000. No, I think now it's over $70,000.
I'd have to look on the spreadsheet.
On full self-driving between our Teslas, which is stupid.
That's over like, I don't know, We didn't buy it on all 12
I think
cars.
it's on 9 or 10
but,
of the 12.
Yeah, over the years, yeah.
Oof.
It adds up.
Yeah. Randy commented and said the solar is still working.
Oh, that's good.
But the only way he can tell is by going to look at the meter and see it going backwards, which is actually kind of fun.
But at
if
least
you haven't
it's
done
still-
that, I definitely suggest.
I'm
try that.
addicted to the Tesla app. I
100%.
watch I go to the screen that shows the power walls and the solar. All day long. I'm actually so good now. When the sun is out, I can pretty much predict exactly within 1 kilowatt of how much solar we are producing. And when a cloud comes through, I'm like, oh, we just got knocked in half down to like 8 kilowatts, and I'm usually right. It's funny. I know how much we're producing.
Yeah. Real quick, Pete, thank you for the $2 super chat. Really appreciate it. He said, no question, just sending you some love. Really, really
Thanks,
appreciate
Pete.
it, man. Thank you for hanging out with us. Pete said, I have a small solar system that came with my house. How hard is it to add more? And does it have to be from the same company?
It doesn't have to be. Know that typically, if you add more, they will put in like a second system. They're not going to tap into that first one because you might still have a lease on it, or you might not own it outright, and they don't want to mess with the warranty on your first system. So typically, they will add a second system. So when we first had our solar installed 2 years ago, we put in 16.5 kilowatts, and that was through Tesla. And then we'd expanded it about a year and a half later when we added about another 4 kilowatts. To our system. In that case, Tesla did both of our installs, but they put in like 2 separate systems. So our first system had 3 inverters, and I don't remember how many panels we had back then, but now we're up to like, I think we had 51 panels originally. We added another 12 panels, so we're at 63 panels. But those go to a different, the new system we put in goes to a different inverter, then it ties into the power walls and the gate, or to the gateway, that then ties into our other the production meters and stuff like that. So it can be done. You just got to find the installer who will do that, and they won't typically shouldn't mess with your existing system.
Yeah. They do like to keep it separate.
But definitely check out Tesla too, because they have like the lowest cost. They do kind of have set sizes of systems. It's not as custom as some other places are, but they're able to have it like $1.49 per watt after that tax credit. And the tax credit does go down at the end of the year. It's currently like 26%. It goes down to 22% next year.
A lot of things to keep in mind. Lawrence said, in case the link doesn't work, a doctor was driving in autopilot while watching TV, crashed into a cop car, which smashed into another cop car.
Oh, wow.
Oof. Yikes.
We'll have to look for that one out.
Yeah, I just
but-
Googled it real quick and didn't find it. I didn't see the link. So maybe YouTube just blocked the link automatically and didn't let me try to approve it. But I'll have to do some research because that sounds terrifying. Be careful in autopilot, people. Shouldn't be watching TV. Not yet.
Not yet. Maybe your passengers, but not the driver.
Yep. Terry said, I had my windows tinted yesterday. Does your tint go all the way to the edge of the glass? Mine is about 1/4 inch from the edge. So if you're talking about like the windshield and everything, it goes past where it's black. If you're talking about like the side windows, it goes all the way to the edge.
Yeah, usually.
It really depends who you install it and how,
And how
they do
much
it.
you pay for it too. It's if you didn't pay for the best installer, then it like when we got one of our cars done with the roof, they didn't do one of the Model 3s. They didn't do the entire piece, and I didn't notice it. When you're outside the car, you can't tell, but when you're inside the car, you can see a line where the tint just ends across the top. So definitely, ask some questions about that when you're getting quotes for install.
For sure. Tint. Watch Tesla or watch Rebuild's channel. Yeah, I'll have to check out the T tool. I'm interested now, or the T-can tool.
T-can, yeah.
Let's see. Randy said, I'm in Florida, so hopefully no hurricane before I get it replaced. Yeah. That would be terrifying. Yeah, hopefully not. Luckily, that last one kind of skirted around you in Florida. Let's see. Quick question. What is the definition of kilowatt per mile?
That's just basically how much energy. It should be kilowatt hours.
They said kilowatt, but yes, correct.
It should be kilowatt hours, but typically though you go by watt hours per mile because it doesn't take that much energy, and that's just basically how much power it takes to go a mile. And on like my car, I think it's about 300, maybe a little less, and that's on an S100D. That means that if I use about 300, if I use 333 watt hours per mile, that means that for 1 kilowatt I would be able to drive 3 miles. And on the other cars, like the 3, I think you're closer to like 250 or so.
Yeah.
That means that for 250 watt hours per mile, you can go about 4 miles per kilowatt. And this really makes it easy to figure out how much you're paying if you have an electric bill that you have to pay. If you know that it's like, say, 10 cents for a kilowatt hour. Divide that out by the 250 watt hours per mile. That means you're only paying like 2.5 cents per mile to drive that, and that's a lot cheaper than gas. With our solar, we don't really have an electric bill anymore, so it's even cheaper. You know, we did have to pay for our solar, but we don't care how much it costs now because everything, it's like free electricity for the next 25, 30 years.
Free because we paid for it already.
In advance. We prepaid.
We prepaid. Michael said, you guys, oh, you know what I think, though, about prepayment now? If we would have...
The price did drop.
No,
so,
not that.
What?
But if we would have just gotten a loan on it, taken that cash,
invested
bought
in
Tesla,
Oh, wow.
don't think about
that.
it.
Yeah.
We would have lost hundreds of that. Okay, moving on. Michael.
Okay, on the same thought that
Yep.
if we hadn't bought our Teslas and had instead bought Tesla stock, we would have like
I'm gonna cry.
We would have like 12 to 15 million dollars right now. And unfortunately, we bought Teslas instead, but they're fine.
I still have a smile on my face. We
Yeah.
still own Tesla stock.
We still have
so-
Tesla stock though, but we're not Tesla millionaires yet.
Correct.
And I saw somebody was again asking why would you want radio? Who cares about radio? It still has these uses. As we mentioned, if there's an emergency, it can knock down cell phone networks, and while it can also knock down the FM stations, typically those are only on 1 or 2 antennas, and that can serve the entire area and can go for hundreds of miles. Whereas cell phone towers, you have to have hundreds of cell phone towers, and they could be knocked down, and if you can really have spotty coverage. And so again, it's for safety to have the FM network, but also as somebody mentioned, or as we mentioned, if you go to a drive-in movie, typically they're going to be broadcasting on FM.
Yep. Michael said you guys should try and mod your Model Y doors to open like the X has.
Oh no, that would be...
That'd be cool.
I
That
think-
sounds labor intensive, though.
I'm sure it could be done, but we're not those people who will be doing it.
If someone makes a kit, I'd consider
Yeah.
doing it. Forney Kid said, does Model Y with full self-driving get home link for summon?
You have to.
If you
have to
pay
buy
for
it.
home link,
Yeah.
yes. But
So-
what is it? 300?
It's like $300 now, and we just had that installed like 2 weeks ago, or was it a week and a half ago
Week and
on
a
the
half
Model
ago.
Y. And so basically, you can order it off the Tesla website, like shop.tesla.com, and then go find HomeLink, and then order it. It's like $300, including install, and they can come out and install it at your house or your office, and basically it's a lot easier on the Y now. They can just reach in and add a couple screws and plug it in, and it works.
Yeah.
And it only takes we can program 3 different garage doors in like less than 3 minutes. It's really easy to install once you have it.
It's definitely less than 3 minutes.
Yeah.
That last one went real quick.
Now, for those of you who don't know, Elon has said they don't include it with all cars because not everybody uses it, and they don't want to have to pay for hardware that they're not using. Since it is like HomeLink, we believe there's like a licensing fee, and if they were to include it in every car, they might have to add $50 or something to the price of every car. By leaving it out, they can make it cheaper. It would be nice if they allowed you to order that HomeLink option and just have the car delivered that way. And unfortunately, they don't offer that yet.
Hopefully in time, they'll allow some more options up front. Alan said, do Model 3s and Ys have XM radio? I'm honestly not sure.
I don't think they do yet. I know that's something that like the S and the X.
I normally just use like the tune-in module or just the regular streaming or Spotify. I do Spotify a lot because I have premium. So.
But the S and X had like an antenna for XM, but I don't think they brought it out to the 3 or the Y.
Not that I'm aware of. I don't really use XM though, so that might be why I'm also not familiar with it. Melody said went to a drive-in and could not get the station on any FM phone, but they had speakers outside. That's nice.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
the drive-in over here is like a pop-up drive-in, and they don't actually have speakers outside.
Yeah, it's
You
just,
have to have the FM.
yeah, but it was cool because we could see the screen from where we live, and basically we just saw, I saw that it said 97.5, and so we went out to my car. Of course, I don't have FM, didn't work, but we went into the other Model S, which does still have an FM tuner, and we could hear the movie just fine.
Yeah.
And if we put it on our telescope, we could be able to watch the movie, but we're not going to do that.
That would be a lot of work. On said, would you guys get the Neuralink implant?
I'm not planning on it anytime soon.
I don't know. I don't know. To be honest, that's a great question. I honestly don't know. Brandon, have you guys received 2020.36 yet? Nope.
Not yet. We're
Still on 32.3.
32.3. So Eric got that on the 3 and the Y a couple weeks back. I just got it on my S Friday, I think. I had 32.2 before that. Didn't notice really any difference with 32.3, but hopefully we'll get 36 someday soon.
Yep. Aaron said, if I currently have free supercharging and refer myself, do I get 1,000 or 2,000 miles of free supercharging? I think if you currently have free supercharging and you don't have a car that can use the free supercharging, I think they actually give you an extra entry into the drawing, is I believe what the term states.
I can't remember, but I know that.
Let me look real quick.
So in our case, we have a car that has free unlimited supercharging. That's the S100D, and so it can't use any of those free supercharging miles. And so yeah, when we if we use that referral code, since that is on our account, if you use that referral code, then you just get like as he said, an extra entry into the drawing. Now, if you do have other people use your referral code, then you can still accrue miles for other cars that don't have the free supercharging. And like with Eric's 3 and Y, whenever somebody uses a referral code, we just get 1,000 miles per referral code on that.
Yeah, so on their website, let me just make sure there's nothing, so I logged in for this. It does say for cars, each car referral also gives you a chance to win Model Y monthly or Roadster quarterly.
Yep.
Owners who already have free supercharging get 2 chances to win.
Yeah, so no free supercharging miles.
So, yeah. But, I mean, if you don't have a car that needs the supercharging miles, I'd rather have 2 chances to win.
Yeah, but if he has a second car, then you're going to need somebody else to use your referral code to get miles for the second car.
Yeah, there you go. Let's see. Rhonda said, "What's a cool thing that shows when people subscribe?" I like it. It's just an alert. Actually.
You have it? Yeah.
I know. Yeah, it's just.
I know.
An
Somebody
alert.
subscribe really quick, and we'll
Yeah, somebody who's not subscribed, subscribe please, so we can see it.
I know that last week we had a little we had a sound, but I think it was.
So I turned the sound off for subscribers because it was getting a little bit obnoxious with just a lot of background noises. So only people who do super chats, donos.
But I think there's some other plugins or whatever. Maybe we'll have to see if you can make it a little more noticeable. I guess when people subscribe.
Yeah. And I literally just installed this software like last week, and last week was our first run with it.
Still
it's
getting
working,
used to it,
so couldn't be happier about that. Got Grapes said Mercedes B-Class electric with Model S motor costs $15,000 and only has 7 pound per foot less in torque than the SR Plus. Best option for anyone who wants a Tesla but can't afford it. The Mercedes B-Class uses a Model S motor, or is that an aftermarket swap? That
You haven't heard of that one at all.
I haven't done that.
I
I
would-
haven't heard of that.
yeah,
Oh, look, somebody subscribed. Motor Nation 25 257. Thank you.
Welcome.
That's
Thank
what the
you.
alert looks like. Sorry, I had to read that real quick. I haven't heard about that. I'll have to check that out. And then we got Pedram. Cool. Now a bunch of people are subscribing. Thank you. Really appreciate it. I should say that more often. Chagong said, AK for software upgrade. Ugh, my laptop costs $800 and I'm still getting it. FOMO. I signed up for a Y with your promo code.
Oh, thanks.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Hopefully you enjoy that. And yeah, AK for software. I mean,
It's a lot. Yeah.
it's a lot. I'm not gonna lie about that.
Again, that's why I preferred when we bought first Autopilot 2 cars in 2.5. It was broken up into like a $5,000 package and a $3,000. So it was a little more. It wasn't as much to spend. So I know, understand. Then they made basic Autopilot free, but it was too basic for me. So we still were buying full self-driving on our cars.
God Grapes responded a little bit further down, said you guys should do a Mercedes B-Class video. I paid $14,400 for a Model S drivetrain and Tesla's 18650s. B-Class only goes 100 miles, but it's all I need. That's
Okay,
actually
so
dope. I'll have to look into that. Wow, that's really cool. And really reasonably priced. They made them from 2014 to 2018.
Well, I never even heard of that one before.
I haven't either.
I know that like Tesla did
That's
have
cool,
motors
though.
in like the RAV4 years ago. They were providing the drive motors for those, but they only made like 2,500 of those, and I think it was only in California, so it's really rare. I did see one in Colorado once, but it's like I wonder how they made it from California to Colorado because it had a much shorter battery, much shorter range.
Yeah. Seth said, PSA, my dealer said I could save $250 by keeping my screen during the MCU upgrade, but the part never showed up.
Oops.
Changed my order to MCU with screen, and they said it would be a 2-day lead time. So, I mean...
It's weird how it goes back and forth because when
Yeah.
we were waiting, we had to wait a long time, but we paid the full $2,500 for the MCU2 upgrade, and it came with that new screen. Then they started running short on screens, and so they came out. You could save like $250 and keep your existing screen, but now it looks like it's gone the other way around, and now they've got the ones paired with screens in stock again. So
Yeah.
I would still probably, it's 250, it's not huge. I would go ahead and get the new screen just because it's brand new, you know. And
yeah, you
got
don't have to worry about anything.
The cool thing too is when we got our M2 upgrade, the warranty was like for an additional 4 years. I think they've since changed it since mid-June or so that it's only 2 years, so it's not as good, but we should be grandfathered in.
Hopefully. Michael said, David, if and when I get solar, I'll fly out there to make sure I don't
fly
get ripped
me
off.
out there. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, there
let
you
us
go.
know if you have any, or bring it up here if you got
David
questions and stuff.
is like, he knows so much about the solar system, way more than I know. That's really, he knows a ton about it. He plays all day on the app.
I watch the app, and like I said, I can tell you when a cloud comes by, I know that I was like, no. I know our solar production, and I'm always calculating, you know, how much we have 4 inverters. 3 of them we can go out. I can see outside how much we're producing. The app shows it, but it's like I'm doing all these calculations just throughout the day. I don't know.
It's fine. He knows a ton about it though. So Michael, if you have any questions, or anybody, if you have questions about solar, email us. It's down listed below, and we'll have him, not me, hop on the email and respond to you guys, because he knows far more about the solar than I do. He's done a lot of research on it. It's pretty awesome. Simo said, what do you think about the Xpeng and their IPO last week? I've not really followed their IPO.
I think that's one that somebody asked us about a few weeks back. Then we went and looked it up. Doesn't it look? It looks pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look bad.
We should look.
We're definitely gonna follow it.
I wonder what their stock price goes. Because I know, like with Neo, Eric bought in on Neo like after our trip out there last September when it was like $2 or $3 a share.
Less than that.
And then they got up to like $20 a share. So it's really nice that these other electric car companies are growing.
Yeah. Let's see. It looks like the IPO was $15 a share Wednesday evening, and the stock opened at $23.10.
Oh, wow.
But let's see what it is right now. That's what we care about. What is their stock ticker?
I have no idea.
I don't even know. I can't even find it. What's up with this? Sorry. Delayed. I'll read a question real quick that David can answer.
Well, I see that on
you got
saying that after 5,000 miles, his efficiency on his Y, on his Y is 233 watt hours.
Mine is not
That's
bad.
really good. So I don't know if maybe he has an all-wheel drive one, because we have a performance one and it uses a little bit more juice than that. But that's 233. That's even better than what the 3 is usually rated at. But it all just depends on your drive, because like my Model S 100D, I think is supposed to be about 330 watt hours per mile. But on my commute, when I used to drive to work, some days, you know, I was driving at just the right speed that I was only doing like 180 watt hours per mile for like 17 miles on the way to work. On the way back, maybe a little higher. But it's amazing, if you drive just the right speed, you can have some really efficient values.
Xpeng looks to still be at $22.79 right now. So, there you go. Yeah, mine is definitely not 233. I'm not gonna lie, but it's still not bad. I think it's like 300.
Which is still pretty good. It's still way better than most of the
But
competitors.
I will say, when I'm on road trips, it's a lot less because I drive very responsible, like I always do.
Yep.
OP Cars said, so many people working from home are finding out that they don't really need 400 miles of range. We need smart-sized Teslas now. I mean, agreed. So I think the thing with Tesla is everyone was saying 300 miles isn't enough. Or 200 miles wasn't enough. 300 is not enough. And now that they're hitting 400, you still have some people saying it's still not enough for an electric vehicle. And some people are saying, I need 200. I don't need 400.
Yeah.
So it's like both sides.
Yeah, the nice thing is with those bigger ranges is that bigger batteries, it's pushing the price down. The prices of batteries are getting cheaper, so they could put in smaller batteries. But Tesla's, I think, didn't they say like 250 or something is the minimum they want to have?
I believe so.
And so 400 now. My Model S gets about 325, 330. If I charge it up all the way. The nice thing about having those larger battery ranges is it gives you more flexibility. So you can travel across the country and pick and choose which superchargers you're going to stop at instead of having to stop at every one. Any Tesla almost can make it along the supercharger network. Even the SR Plus or older, Model S60 can make it almost anywhere now. But having a bigger battery gives you more flexibility.
100%.
And also speeds up your charges, because the bigger battery you have, the faster it can charge.
Yep, and it means you don't necessarily need to charge to 100% every day,
Yeah,
which
yep.
will prolong your battery life.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's a lot of pros to it, but a 400-mile battery currently costs a good chunk of change. So
Yeah.
hopefully in the future that can
And that's what
be evened out.
And that's one thing, people have been asking if Tesla's going to come out with a Model C or Model 2 or something cheaper. And Elon says it's going to happen. It's just nothing definite yet. But
Just a matter of time.
so something will be cheaper than the 3 one of these days, and probably have a smaller battery, smaller range.
Christlike said, does HomeLink open gates too?
It can.
I think it can.
Depending on
Yeah.
the gate, it has to have the right technology built in. Yeah.
Yep. Shinard said, do you foresee the battery size going up in the Y after battery day?
I don't think with battery days we're going to see any changes to
No.
the 3 or the Y anytime soon. Maybe next year or something
Yeah.
like that. But as Eric's mentioned in the past, we'll probably be seeing those new batteries in like the Roadster, the next gen Roadster, and the Cybertruck, and maybe the Plaid Model S. Eventually, it might make it down to all the other cars, but I think they're gonna. They have a set product now at a set price, and it's going to take a while. It would take a while for them to. It would take a lot of cost, I guess, to switch.
I mean, I really think battery day is going to be what's going to be in the Roadster, the semi-truck, and the Cybertruck, and probably Plaid S and X. I don't think long-range S and X, 3 or Y will see any changes for several years.
It'll be interesting to see, though. We'll find out in a few weeks.
We will find out for sure. May or may not be there. Still waiting.
And another thing about battery day, that's something we discussed last week, is that there was a picture that was released, and it looks like it might be, what is it, like nano technology, nano wires or something.
Nanowire.
So it looks like some new technology, and as you might have read, there's a new company that has just like moved in next door to Tesla's like corporate headquarters. They're like across the street almost, and it's a company that does like next generation lithium-ion batteries. So it's it'll be interesting what we see here in September 22nd.
Yeah, I'm just looking for that picture of the nanowire real quick. I can't find it. Every time I need it, I can't find it. Oh wait, maybe I found it. Got it.
So this is like zoomed way in.
Yeah.
But these batteries are supposed to be a lot more energy per pound or whatever like that. So a lot
energy
more
density.
or
was
energy
off the
density. That's what
chart.
I'm looking for. A lot than what's currently out there.
Yeah.
And Panasonic has announced they're still increasing the productivity of the older cells, which are used in the Model 3 and the Y, and so that's still supposed to go up 3 to 5% a year for the next 5 years. So it doesn't sound like they're getting rid of those batteries anytime soon. But these new batteries, that's what we're really interested in finding out about.
Definitely. I'm super excited. We'll either be there or we'll be here. Either way, there'll be a live stream. So we got you covered.
I see Diego complimented me on my new shirt. So thank you, Diego.
New shirt? New shirt Sunday, everybody.
Yeah.
For those of you who weren't here, we had a little joke 2 weeks ago where we had a contest, and the video we just happened to pull the contest question from
like 4 years ago.
David was wearing the exact same shirt in that
so,
video.
Yeah,
so.
this is a brand new shirt, first time ever worn. So thank you.
It was pretty funny. Motor Nation 257 said, for school, I'm writing a 5-page essay about Tesla versus gas vehicles. So fun.
Cool.
I mean, I can make it down to like a couple words. Tesla is better. Boom. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, have to have your sources.
But the nice thing you point out, I guess, in your paper is that with the electric cars, you can most people, if you have a household, you can plug it in
with solar.
Or if you don't have solar, but you can plug it in and charge it overnight, so you never have to go to a gas station.
Yeah.
And the only time you really would need to go to a supercharger is if you're on a road trip. Some people who live in apartments, it's a little less convenient if they can't charge at their place of residence, but it's nice. I haven't been to a gas station. We drove by one like yesterday, and it's like, wow, I was thinking, I have not been to a gas station since like 2016. And
I have been to a gas station to buy lotto tickets, scratch-off tickets. I think I went to one really late at night on my road trip because I needed a drink, but not for gasoline.
Yeah. Another thing maybe you can mention is that the electrical grid gets cleaner and cleaner every day. So even though some of the electricity comes from coal plants, a lot of it is coming from hydro or solar or wind, and every day the grid gets cleaner and cleaner. So those electric cars are going on cleaner and cleaner electricity every day, whereas gas cars, it's still going to be dirty and get less efficient and more polluting every day.
Yeah. Let's see. Watch Rebuilds channel. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Said right now you're reading the super chat I just sent you.
Hey,
Laugh. Love
we
you
are.
guys. You read my mind.
Yeah.
Thank you for the $5 super chat. Really, really.
I see. Well,
appreciate
see,
that.
so following up on the gas, On said that
Yep.
he went to a gas station today because he needed gas for his lawnmower. We have we did a video for it last year, but we have had electric or battery powered lawnmowers for years. And last year we did a video on the EV Go or no Ego, sorry,
Ego.
and it's battery powered, and it's just as powerful as a gas powered motor. And if you have a big yard, you can buy multiple batteries, but our battery will last for multiple charges or multiple mows. But the cool thing is we loved it so much that we also got a string trimmer and a chainsaw, and we're looking to get like a leaf blower.
The blower.
And the cool thing,
yeah.
the batteries are interchangeable. So like when we had a storm come through and it knocked down a tree, we took the battery from the lawnmower, put it on the chainsaw. We were able to cut up the entire tree and didn't need a charge. So I see that we just got another.
Thank you, Ash for the $20 super chat.
Bam.
You almost got a ton of confetti in my water. I just want that
Oops,
to be
sorry
known.
about that. But hey, that one shot pretty far.
That one did. That one was really far. I did not expect it to do that.
Sometimes it doesn't go as far as others, but
Yeah, wow, that's hilarious.
Hey, and he didn't even have any questions. He just said thanks for
Yeah.
being you. Well, thank you.
Thank you for hanging out with us, and thank you for the $20 super chat. Really, really appreciate that. John said referral code work for Neuralink. Not yet.
Neuralink. But,
I mean, you never know.
I don't know what they're selling yet, but yeah, that'd be interesting.
Use my
Maybe-
Tesla referral code for Neuralink implant.
We'll see. We'll see
That'd
about
be
that
pretty
one day.
funny stuff.
Cool thing is it works for any car, S, E, X, or Y, and for solar.
Did you
So-
say E?
Oh, how I said E. I meant the 3. Wow. Originally, for trivia, the Model 3 was supposed to be called
What's
the Model
in that
E.
cup? By the way, is anyone playing the game today
Yeah.
where every time David takes a sip, you take a sip? I'm just
Yeah.
curious. That was talked about last time, and I didn't. Oh,
Okay, but before
wants to see what happened.
before the 3 came out, Tesla was going to make it and call it the Model E, but then Ford has like a trademark or something on it, so Tesla had to call it the Model 3.
yeah.
So I guess I slipped. Oh, somebody's asking about the snakes. You might have to get those.
Oh, I'll get them in just a minute. Chagong said, I drive 50,000 miles a year. Do you think I can or will be able to swap to the million-mile battery in 6 to 8 years? I definitely think in 6 to 8 years. I'm surprised they haven't really done much for like
Upgrading.
battery upgrade.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
And that's kind of one
if you
thing.
guys just heard that, that was the dog hitting it, not me.
Yeah, that's something we were talking about earlier with NIO offering the battery as
Battery
a surface.
swap, yeah.
In the past, Tesla did offer, way back, 2012, 2013, they said you could prepay for a battery upgrade, but only a few people ever got that. So it'd be nice if Tesla would follow up on some of their competition and maybe offer those batteries and make them more upgradable. The thing is there are third parties out there that you can get your battery upgraded. They're not, all across the country, so you have to take your car to like North Carolina or New Hampshire or something like that. But there are third parties that will take like an S60D or S60, and you can get upgraded to an 85 battery, or even go from an 85 to 100 battery. So I'm sure in 6 to 8 years there's going to be a lot more companies offering that if Tesla doesn't offer it themselves.
100%. I believe Tesla will by then, because they've always just been battery constrained, and hopefully in 8 to 10 years we get this figured out. Chris said, do you like the adjustable screen mount from Tesla Forum? I do not have that, so I'm not sure. Michael said, if I upgrade my MCU1 to 2, do I get the cameras for Sentry mode, if that's even possible? And the verdict is...
What was the question here?
Oh, if I upgrade MCU1 to MCU2, do I get cameras for Sentry mode?
Well, it depends if you have
It's very-
Autopilot 2.
yeah.
You have to have at least Autopilot 2 hardware. Autopilot 2, 2.5. Then when you upgrade your S or X to that MCU2, then you would have Sentry and dash cam. And even with my car, which used to be Autopilot 2, upgraded Autopilot 3 and MCU2, I even have the rear camera. So I have 4 cameras being recorded via Sentry mode and dash cam. If you have an older car with without Autopilot, then you're not going to have cameras, of course. But yeah. I do know somebody has mentioned though that they are trying to work on, for those older cars, Autopilot cars that only have the front cameras, adding a way so that you can use those side repeater cameras. They would not work with Autopilot, but they would allow you to work on Formus Sentry. So it'll be interesting. We'll keep track of that and see if it comes out.
Yep. Oscar said, does Tesla repair all the quality imperfections? If you do have any, upon delivery, just make sure it's noted. And from our experience and other friends' experience, I haven't heard of any issues going unresolved.
Yeah, and we've bought many cars over the years, and as the model gets older, as they've produced more and more of those models, we've seen the quality definitely improve. So, like when Eric got his first Model S in mid 2016, there were a few issues. Tesla fixed them all.
Yeah.
When I got my Model S 6 months later, a few issues. Tesla fixed them all. But as we bought other cars, we've gotten some cars that were perfect.
It's gotten progressively better.
Yeah. So as they've built hundreds of thousands of cars, it's gotten better, and we haven't had cars that didn't have anything that needed to be replaced.
Yeah.
The cool thing too, we still really haven't spent anything on service. Scott's car, he has a Model S. He's paid a little bit. I forget what he. Oh, we had a rodent issue where I think where he works, rodent chewed through his wiring harness, and so Tesla fixed that, diagnosed it, and fixed it. It was only like $300 something, but that's the only service we've paid on all the cars for over the years. Everything else has been covered under warranty so far.
Yep. Got Grapes says gotta run. Thanks guys. Thank you for hanging out. Really, really appreciate it. Let's see. Motor Nation 257 said I invested in Nikola.
Cool. Yeah.
I mean, I go back and forth with them.
Oh, another thing. Speaking of Nikola.
Oh yeah.
We were down in Colorado Springs yesterday.
That's true.
And for those of you who don't know, Nikola Tesla used to have a laboratory located in Colorado Springs back in like 1899 or so, and he did research. He was only here for like 9 months, but he had built like the world's largest Tesla coil when he lived in Colorado Springs. And basically it was an experiment to with electricity and trying to generate kind of like electricity like equivalent to like lightning, and he learned a lot while he was down here. Unfortunately, that factory or that lab.
Here's like our picture.
Yeah, the laboratory doesn't exist anymore, but there's a plaque there. And the funny thing is it's kind of by a park. And when we got there, this huge thunderstorm came in, and there's no parking lot right next to the plaque, so we ran across this field, and there's lightning and thunder, and we're like, this would be very bad if 2 Tesla enthusiasts got struck by lightning while visiting the Nikola Tesla plaque in Colorado Springs, which was about creating artificial lightning. But fortunately, we survived.
Yeah,
on the run back to the car, we separated just in case.
Yeah, we were like, oh, quick, go further away in case something happens. Luckily, nothing happened. We're both here. Let's see. I had one here. Michael said, have you ever seen how fast you can get up to in reverse
We have.
on your Teslas, or is there a speed governing chip?
We have.
We have. I think the top speed in reverse was like 17, 18 miles an hour.
Yeah.
But I do have a video on that.
That might have been like 2017 or something like that.
I will say, though, going in reverse like 18 miles an hour feels way faster than it should, because you're not used to going that fast in reverse. And it feels like it's a lot faster than that.
And
not gonna lie.
And a cool fact we learned today is that, at least on the Model Y, you can drive with your frunk open at up to 18 miles per hour. I don't know why you'd want to, but
I think it's like 18.5.
There's a warning that pops up on the screen saying frunk open, and you're limited to like 18 miles per hour. But you can still see a little bit. I wouldn't recommend it, but now you know that it is limited going forward with the frunk open.
Yeah.
I
I was hoping to go faster in reverse, but I guess that's all I could do.
Yeah.
But again, on a closed course. I don't know why I have to say stupid crap like that, but I do, because people take stuff way too literally. Let's see.
Safety first.
I know, right? Tesla RX, do you think Tesla will ever let owners upgrade their battery pack to newer ones? Yeah. We kind of talked about this a little bit a few minutes ago, but yeah, I definitely think so. I think it'll just take a little bit more time. I'm trying to see where I am at. Gas stations should become energy stations that include superchargers. 100% agree.
The cool thing is, like a lot of, especially in Colorado and other regional places around the United States, like in Colorado, Tesla's teamed up with Come and Go, which is a convenience store chain, and they're installing superchargers around the state at a lot of Come and Go's, and in other places like at Sheetz gas stations. But we did just see that we heard over the weekend that Tesla is teaming up with Target, and they're going to be putting in superchargers at a lot of Target stores, and that's a great match because people go to Target, you might be there for half an hour or so. That's a perfect amount of time for you to get a supercharge.
Somebody asked about the Ego Mower review. I am dropping that in chat right now. If you would like to check it out, by all means do so. we're super happy with the mower. Haven't had
Yeah.
any issues with it.
And the cool thing again, we can pop those batteries out. So if we forget to charge one of the batteries, we don't need to wait because we have another battery, and we could put the string trimmer battery in the lawnmower, or we could put the chainsaw battery
Yeah.
on the string trimmer. You can move them all around, and
But
they're
the-
different sizes, but different
Yeah.
capacities, but they will fit. I mean,
The greatest thing though is the string trimmer auto winds the string.
That's a nice feature.
You don't have to sit there and wind it. Love it so much. Got my father one for I think it was
Yeah.
his birthday or Father's Day, one of the two.
and it's got a
he
carbon
loves
fiber
it.
shaft.
And
So
you
it's
know
ver-
we're all about that carbon fiber.
and it's
here.
very lightweight, and yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah, definitely love it. Let's see. So Watch Rebuild is saying, what do you think about the Model C, the compact? I mean, I want to see what it looks like.
Yeah, I need more information on that, but I'm sure it'll be
Yeah.
a great seller in China, but it'd be nice, and Europe too, if they ever send it to
100%,
Europe.
yeah.
But yeah, it'd be nice to, some people in the U.S. would like something like that as well, just because it would be cheaper.
Yeah.
And not everybody needs a bigger car.
Yeah. Rhonda said, will we buy the Ego 2-stage snowblower this winter and review it? Probably not yet because we have a gravel
problem.
driveway, so
Yeah.
we would end up throwing a lot of rocks.
We've looked in. We have a gravel driveway. It's nice. We don't mind it because it allows all the water to just go right in whenever it rains or snows. We've looked into putting in like a pavestone or something driveway, but we have a really big driveway. We'd be able to buy a Model S, maybe even a Model Y, with what it would cost to pave our driveway. So that's why it's still gravel. So
Yeah.
and I've looked around and I haven't seen a lot of snowblowers that work on like gravel driveways. They would be throwing the gravel, and we don't want that.
Yeah,
and our
it'd
neighbors
be a
probably don't want
mess.
that either.
Yeah, they probably don't. I don't want to deal with that.
But if we ever get it paved or put pavestones in, we would definitely get a Ego snowblower.
100%. Somebody was asking where we got those cool die casts. Those are actually on Tesla's website. If you go to, I believe it's shop.tesla.com.
Find the video for that. Give
And
me a
yeah,
link to
that video, actually, we unboxed those. That video is up to like 1.5 million views. I don't know why.
A lot of people.
A lot of people
'cause
like it?
Crossover. A lot of people like Tesla. A lot of people like toys. A lot of people like unboxings.
It really checked all the boxes, not gonna lie. I'll drop that video down in chat too, if you want to check it out.
It's nice when people have questions.
It's
We're like,
funny.
yeah, did a video on that.
I know,
Oh, yeah, did a video on that.
But
We've done a
they
lot of
just
videos.
have them right at Tesla's website.
Only thing with those die-casts is that the semi is not the same color. Not the same color.
It's a
not the same
different
scale.
size
So
scale.
so it's only like
Yeah.
1/24th
I think it's
instead
a 1/23rd instead of 1/18.
or 24th instead of 1/18. So there's the Tesla semi. So here, hold that for a second. So you can see it's not going to be at the
It's
same
heavy.
scale as like the Model X or something like that. So
Put the Model X in front.
the cool thing is that these. Oh wait, look. No, but the cool thing
We're
is
gonna start playing with cars now on live
the cool
stream.
thing is
Congratulations
they're
to the
really nice.
600
They're
people.
like several hundred pieces on each of these, and like the doors all open, the wheels turn.
But I
you
will
know.
say they're
it's-
not cheap. They're $250 a pop. So
yeah, so they're nice,
don't drop them.
but they're not really for kids. They're for big
I mean,
kids.
you can play with them if you want. It's your deal.
But what's that like TikTok about? The nice thing being about adult is you have adult money and you can buy adult toys.
God, I love adult money. Holy crap, it's amazing. Let's see. Cat Shepherd said Eddie World has a bank of superchargers,
Yeah,
and I've
weren't
stopped
you
there
just there,
on
like
every one of my trips out
Yeah,
there.
isn't that
I
Yermo?
love Eddie World.
Yermo or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Eddie World, super awesome. Lot of candy.
A lot of food, too,
A
yeah.
lot of food. Really clean bathrooms. Like everything. Love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah. Let's see.
It's getting close to.
I'm trying to see. Allison said, "Hey, did you used to explore abandoned historical sites on station TBD?" No.
No, but we do like.
I've talked about
we
that,
love
though. We
watching the
wanted to.
Urbex videos.
Love
though.
Urbex.
We've been to a few ghost towns and a few other places. Like I've been up to. There's some abandoned building up in Whittier, Alaska, that was really cool, with like stalactites, stalagmites, and there's like a lake on the top of the roof just because the water is up there. So
yeah.
we definitely like Urbex stuff, but that was not us.
No, we've wanted to. Seth said, "Do you guys own a Chatamo adapter?" We don't. We've talked about it, but we have kind of decided right now it's not something we really need in
we
our
don't see the
arsenal.
need for Chatamo, but if Tesla came out with a CCS adapter like they have in Europe, we would definitely get that.
Yeah. Andrew said, "Not Tesla related, but curious. Hope that's okay." Of course. What software do you use for editing your video? I use the Adobe Suite. So like, I'll use After Effects, Audition, Photoshop, and Premiere, as well as I use their whole suite.
Somebody's saying snakes on a stream instead of snakes on a plane.
I'll go do that. Why don't you
So-
find some questions? I'm at 7:10, so I'm only a few minutes behind.
Okay.
Michael has a question right before my YouTube channel link.
Okay.
For cost purposes, do you think it'd be positive if the Model C was a two-door, Model 3 with same parts, or should it be different all by itself? Do you see that question?
I don't see that.
Well, you can answer that and then just start
Wait,
wherever you
for
want.
cost,
And
there
I'll
it is.
go
Do you
find
think it
some
would be a
snakes.
positive if the Model C was a two-door? Model 3. I don't know. Yeah, because I don't know, because it's like
Wait, let me change the view.
two doors would
Pop it
be
up.
like, I don't know. I guess it depends on how small the car is, but I like having four-door cars. I had a two-door car when I was in high school many years ago, and it was just really inconvenient for my passengers to get in and out the back seat. So I would hope they'd still have four doors, but I don't know. I'm not a two-door person, but maybe some people would like that. I saw another question. I'm sorry. I saw, okay, somebody mentioned solar freaking roadways. That would be nice. We know there have been studies about that, but we haven't really seen anything come to market. There's some studies. Somebody actually contacted us and offered, oh my, snakes on a stream. Wow.
Okay, so I need to be careful.
Wait, switch.
Because it's feeding day, and so she can smell the rats. So we just need to be a little careful with her.
It's
she
not-
is a leucistic diamond boa.
Uh-oh.
She's not happy. She's a little hissy. Yeah, she's one of them. She's just a little one. She's not full grown yet. I'll go grab another one momentarily.
And I forgot where I left off. Anyway, somebody contacted us a while back about like a solar driveway, and we said, yeah, definitely. We have a gravel driveway, as we mentioned before, but we'd definitely be interested if they ever come out with a viable product. We would be willing to test that out for them. And yeah, I see Forney kids talking about the CHAdeMO adapter. That's great, especially if there's CHAdeMO stations near you. You know, Electrify America has been putting them around the United States, and there's a lot going across the Canadian like highway, Trans-Canadian highway. So it definitely can help you out where there aren't superchargers available. It is kind of expensive. It's like $450, $500, but if you don't have any other choice, then it's a good way that you can still get a charge where there's no superchargers around. But again, Tesla came out with a CCS adapter, and they have it in Europe. They've been modifying all the superchargers there to have CCS, but they have not released it yet in the US, so we're looking forward to that. Oh wow, look at that little thing.
So this is a little nugget. She's just a little baby. This is actually a ball python, though. This isn't a boa like the other one is.
Doesn't even look like it's real.
I know. She's real. I promise. She's
So-
alive.
Oh, but yeah, don't
She's
need
just
to,
hanging out.
at least she's not too upset.
Yeah, she's a lot nicer than the boa. The boa is not happy. Yeah, she's just gonna hide her little head. This is why they're called ball pythons. They curl up into like a little ball when they're kind of scared. But look at the little nose. Oh.
So I see.
Is it weird that I just awed a snake?
So AP Mr. Stay Puff said he is installing his console wrap from Abstract Ocean today, and he loves it. Yeah, we definitely love ours. And Eric had console wrap on his, but recently he put on that carbon fiber shell, which we love as well. But it looks a little better than the carbon fiber wrap, but we still have the carbon fiber wrap. Don't you still have that on the 3?
Yes.
Yeah, so we still have that. Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. Snakes for the day. A lot of the other ones are not in great moods because they smell the food.
Yeah. And
Including that one.
Yeah, so Jonathan is asking if we find 250 supercharging underwhelming. It's like, well...
250 kilowatt?
Yeah, kilowatt.
Oh.
So that's V3 supercharging, which is still rolling out. It's not everywhere yet, but they are adding locations, every day almost. But it's you don't get the 250 kilowatts the entire supercharge. So yeah, we see, especially in my car, which is not capable of 250, but I've gotten close to 200 kilowatts. Eric's 3 and the Y are both able to get that. He's hit 250 multiple times, but it doesn't stay there for a long time. The nice thing is that it makes your charge faster. If you can save 5-10 minutes off a charge, it helps. And the cool thing is that the V3 superchargers are not shared. If you go to a V2 supercharger, the two stalls are actually paired together. So if there's somebody already plugged in on like 1A and you plug into 1B, then you're only going to be getting what he's not using out of like 150 kilowatts. So if he's just got there and he's getting 120, you're only going to get 30 when you plug in. Cool thing with V3 superchargers, the guy can get you 250, and if your battery is the right state of charge and the right temperature, you can get 250 on any other supercharger that's there. Again, you have to have just the right temperature, just right state of charge on yours. But typically, when we are on road trips, it tells you where to charge, or we use a better route planner to plan those stops. And we don't typically charge up past 80% if we don't need to. Now, if we are in places like South Dakota, they've added some superchargers since then. But once we did a trip south, across South Dakota and across Nebraska, where there were no superchargers for like almost 250 miles, but we were able to make that in my car no problem. But we did have to charge to 100% there. But again, no sharing necessary on those V3 superchargers, even if you don't get that. It helps speed up the throughput, and you can charge more cars there.
Yep. Real quick, because we were talking about Abstract Ocean, shout out to whoever was installing that.
Yep.
Congrats.
Mr. Steeple.
I have a sneak peek. Not a peek because I don't have it tangible right now. But there is a new product coming up. I think it's like 2 weeks away, but a lot of people have been asking for it. So Model S and X have lights under the seats, the front seats, and now that will be going into Model Y and 3.
Wow. So is the wiring already there then?
We get the kit this week, so we will be shooting video and
I
everything.
guess we'll find out. I haven't seen it.
And yeah, sneak peek. Okay, question were we on? What time?
I was up there, Mr. Snakes on the Stream, sometime after 7:12. So there we go. Oh, so 7:13. Yep.
Hopefully you guys appreciate the snakes. I know we've kind of talked
So
about
here's somebody talking about with the vehicle to grid technology. Do you think someday we can transfer power to another strand of Tesla that could eliminate towing overall?
Hopefully.
Yeah,
that would be
nice,
awesome.
That would be a nice feature to have. We have seen that you can actually tow a car, and that'd be something we could try with a Cybertruck. But basically, right now they don't have the ability to charge, to share like that. That would be a nice feature. But there is a way, if you actually tow a car, it can put energy back into the battery, but it's not safe, and just because you're gonna have like the tow rope and stuff like that, so I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah. Let's see. Any project updates on the Model Y?
So we got
couple exciting things. We shot one thing today.
Coming out tomorrow, I believe.
No, probably Tuesday, because I don't think I'll have time to edit tonight.
Okay.
It's the way it works. But we'll see. There's some other fun Model Y stuff coming. We still need to figure out what we're going to embroider in the headrest, so that will be a poll on the channel soon, so that you guys can decide.
And we have some new hardware for the...
Somebody's going to leak something, and I know it's going to be you.
I was saying, we have some new hardware for the Model S as well. The new hardware for Model Y. We're doing all kinds of things.
Yeah. We got some fun stuff coming up. Let's see. Snakes are beautiful. Thanks for showing. Yep. Thank you guys. Let's see. Kyle from Out of Spec Motoring claims that a wet towel around the handle keeps the 250 charge going longer.
I've heard that. I don't know how much it does, because they do have a temperature sensor like in those V3 superchargers, and it might help, but like using evaporative cooling. But I have noticed that when we were driving across Nevada, some of those supercharger handles can get pretty hot.
But the thing is, if you're tricking it, that's just the temperature at the handle.
Yeah.
That's not the other temperature. So my thing is, I just don't want to trick it. I say that.
Yeah.
And then have something go wrong.
Override one of the safety features. Or
yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah, so I don't see the need. But, typically we don't have to wait at the supercharge anyways. We go in, maybe hit the bathroom, get some food, and maybe watch a little YouTube, and then we're on our way.
Yep. Let's see. Michael said I went to went to a supercharger with my 60 kilowatt, and the speed was embarrassing to post.
Yeah.
God, please hurry with my Cybertruck.
Well, that's one thing on those older cars. With the smaller battery capacity, is the supercharging is slower, and Tesla has slowed down the top supercharging speed on those older cars just as the batteries have gotten older. So there's some litigation and stuff going on with that too.
Yep. Colton said he's close to the V3 at 120th and I-25. Gonna take delivery soon and don't have the charging ready for my place. And I go buy it for work, so lucky me. LOL.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's super convenient that you're that close to it, for sure.
Yeah, we've been up to that one when it first opened. We know they had some problems with a few of the stalls, but they fixed those. I haven't seen any issues with that recently. We're still waiting on the supercharger close to us is Aspen Park, and they did a lot of progress over the last couple of weeks when there was that fire in Glenwood Springs, and I-70 was closed for 2 weeks, which was like a record length of time. People were having to take like Highway 285 across Colorado or go up north, and we thought, they're going to open this one up soon. We haven't seen any progress in the last 2 weeks, so it's close, but they still haven't opened it.
Yeah. I see some messages from Chris. Shout out to Chris.
The Chris,
he
yes, there's
actually
Chris, yes.
purchased our first Model 3.
Yes.
Let's see. He said classes start tomorrow. Can I sleep in your driveway on the way from the West Coast? Yeah, just hit me up. You got my number. Yeah.
And you can charge here too.
Yeah, we'll charge you out. Yeah, totally fine.
Though there is a supercharger. Yeah, we took him to the supercharger when he was here last time. But yeah.
Yeah, we can charge here. You don't have to sleep in your car. We can make arrangements. Don't worry, man. We got you. Let's see. A lot of people saying no more secrets. Tell the secrets. I mean,
What secret?
I can't say everything.
Oh, the secrets. Oh, the video. They'll find out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
At least for one of them.
I can't say like everything.
Yeah. Just got to tune in on Tuesday.
Let's see. Daniel said, when can we have Tesla vehicles work in Nigeria? It's a good question.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I do not know.
They probably, if you imported one, it would work fine. The problem is you wouldn't.
Could you charge?
Yeah. If they have electricity, it can be.
Yeah,
charged.
you would just need
So
the
you can work.
correct,
It'll work anywhere. The
adapters,
problem is if you have a problem and you need service, you wouldn't be able to get service there.
Yeah.
So I see. Let's see. Gordon Gecko was saying solar parking canopies as opposed to using open land. That's a great idea. And actually, where I used to work, we had a solar canopy over one of the guest parking lot, and we had solar over all the buildings and over the entire parking garage. And whenever I would charge my car at work, it was entirely solar powered, and we had like 36 solar powered level 2 chargers there. And so it'd definitely be great if there were more of those solar powered canopies. Some companies have come out with little tiny ones that's just like one little canopy that covers one little charger, then one little parking spot. And I don't remember, it's like $10,000 or $15,000. It's not cheap, but it's nice that they have a little package that you can just buy and drop it off in a lot and then start having solar.
Yeah. Real quick, I saw Sean saw a new V3 supercharger install in Brighton.
Brighton, yeah, that has been going around for like 8 months.
It has.
We heard they had some problems, so they have not opened it up yet. We've made the trek out to Brighton more than once, more than twice, 3 times, whatever. I don't know, but we go about once a month. Still not open. So it'll be nice when they get open because it's on I-76. Really helps traffic between Nebraska and the Denver metro area.
Yeah, and Chris was asking, what do you think will be revealed on Battery Day? I mean, new battery. Hoping,
the new battery technology, the nanotechnology with the new capacitors or whatever.
Plaid S and X. And maybe some Roadster news thrown in.
I don't know, because I know that in the past when they've had events, we've always hoped they'd have this or that, the other, and sometimes they just stick to the
topic,
and they talk about one thing. So, but definitely they're going to talk about.
We just need Elon to get a little sidetracked. That's all we need.
They're definitely going to talk about some new batteries, which we were talking about earlier. I forget the name. Was it Amphios or something like that? Which is a new company that Amprius, yeah, that has their new headquarters like really close to Tesla. So
literally right across the street.
Yeah, so there's probably going to be some announcement about some collab with them.
Yeah. So hopefully we see something. I would like one more thing, like you mentioned. Yes, exactly.
One more thing,
and then one more thing, and then one more thing, and then a couple more things.
For those of you who don't know, like when they had like the Tesla semi event, we went to that, and after the event, the semi drove off. We're like, oh, where's the one more thing? And then the semi did a circle and came back and parked, and they lowered the back, and the next gen Roadster came out the back, and that was epic. That was amazing. So we're hoping something. It would be nice to have one more thing at these announcements.
Couple more things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. I think we are all caught up. Holy crap! Doesn't always happen very well. Motor Nation 257 did just say, are you guys going to be live on Battery Day? One way or another, we'll be live, whether it's here or whether it's in California.
Yeah, we're
still not sure yet.
Yeah, basically Tesla has a lottery system to try to get invites to the Battery Day, and we submitted our request, but sounds like it's going to be a really small event, just trying to keep social distance and stuff like that. But if they invite us, one or two of us, we will go.
Yep.
But we'll still have a live stream afterwards to discuss it. Yeah.
Yep. On said, have you received your booty shorts yet?
Oh.
We don't. You almost leaked it, didn't you? We'll have a video for coming up soon. Y'all just hang tight. It's gonna blow your mind. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, it will be interesting, but yeah. Yeah. I can't say too much about the booty shorts right now, but video coming very, very soon.
Uh-oh.
Diego said
Photo
no
shoot,
more
yeah.
secrets. Wow.
We'll see.
Oh god. Yeah. I mean, we're gonna do a photo shoot in the booty shorts, so y'all just be
One
ready.
of these days.
It's gonna happen.
See, Michael's talking about for the Cybertruck, they should have had it bust through a wall. It was still pretty epic
That
with
would've
like the
been cool,
flames
yeah.
shooting up in the air and throwing the balls at the window. It was a nice event, but it was a little surprised when the glass broke.
Yeah. Greg said Elon tweeted there's no affiliation with Amprius.
Really?
The promo image wasn't silicon nanowires.
Oh, really? So that's new.
Or he's just throwing us off.
throwing us off.
Because he can't give that up yet.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. That would be, but still, they moved in right next door to Tesla. They gotta, and that's what they do
I
is
know.
high capacity.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know.
awfully suspicious.
I don't know.
Watch Rebuild channel. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Said half hour until doggy feeding time.
Yeah.
Actually,
It's been a while since
it's 28 minutes
Past,
doggy
yeah.
feeding time.
So
Normally
I'm
at 7
surprised.
o'clock. Hopefully Scott fed them.
Yeah. Or maybe Kit got scared when we shot off the confetti that one time. He was.
They're
right
not down here. Normally they're down here unless they're eating. So I think they're upstairs probably eating. Are we gonna go live for the Lucid event potentially?
When's that?
Still checking everything out for that. Yeah, it's coming up. So, Michael said, just answer me this. When the shorts vid comes out, should we be sober or intoxicated for humor reasons? I mean, I think it's going to be great either way.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
I think it's going to be great either way.
Yeah.
But, I mean, a few drinks might not hurt.
If you go back up to like Tesla Rex was asking if they had 60,000. Should I want?
If I have 60K, should I, 1, keep my Model X 90D with FSD and buy a Model Y, or 2, upgrade my Model X to the newest Model X and buy a used Model 3?
Wow, that's kind of a.
So,
That's
here's
interesting.
it's going to sound crazy. If you need another car, do either of those options, but get a loan on it and take your 60 grand and buy a Tesla.
Tesla stock. No, I don't know. That's a tough one because
but
again,
yeah,
it
that is
depends on
tough.
what they're going to do. Because we have right now in the garage, we don't have an X, but we have 2 S's, a 3, and a Y, and each of them has their benefit, and the X has its own benefits. And it's just like if you need more people, definitely get the X. If you want the most efficient, get the 3. If you want something in between, get the Y.
Yeah.
You know, if you want the best range, get the S. So
That's a tough one.
and
I mean, I don't know what was the range on a 90DX? Was it like 250?
it was something around there, yeah. And that's when new and yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. That's a good question.
It's tough to say.
Model X and Y are very similar, so maybe go with the newest X and a used 3.
Yeah. The cool thing too is like the used 3 is still gonna have like MCU2
Exactly.
and Autopilot 2.5 upgradable to Autopilot 3, and so but the X and S will have that air suspension and the biohazard defense mode and yeah.
Yeah. Michael, thank you for the $3 super chat. Really appreciate that. It said, you guys rock. We try. Just watch out for the shorts, because they'll get you. That's all I'm going to say. It'll get you. Thank you for that, though. Really, really appreciate it. People are saying it's the tabs on the end of the batteries, maybe a treatment to them. The picture.
Yeah, that's what we were looking at last week, trying to figure out that was because we were thinking it was those nano wires because.
Okay. For those of you that are still here, sorry, stream crashed. Got the blue screen of death. I'll cut this out later, but we got that. Sorry about that. I guess it happens. That's the great thing about technology. You gotta love it. Anyway, though, I guess we're just gonna end it there. We kind of, it took a while for the computer to come back. Wow, I'm pressing everything now. Anyway, huge thanks to everyone for hanging out. Hopefully we'll see you all next week. Sorry for that computer blue screened of death, the stream computer. Of course, it wasn't the other one. It was this one. I posted a little bit about it on my Instagram story. You're welcome to check it out. But we will see you all next week. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you to everyone for the super chats. Really appreciate you all. If you are looking to accessorize your Tesla, please check out and help support our channel sponsor, Abstract Ocean. They have all kinds of really cool products and make a lot of really great stuff. And using code Tesla Inventory will get you 15% off your first purchase. Now I see the viewer count jumping back up. Sorry, I just wanted to say the stream didn't end in YouTube because the computer blue screened. So I don't know what exactly happened. It just blue screened, and so it never ended, so I'm gonna end it now. Thank you. Watch Rebuild's channel. Thanks for the $5 super chat. Good night. Yeah, I will see you all next week, though. We have some fun videos planned for the week. So we will see you then. I'm officially going to end the stream now on my behalf, not on the computer's choice. So we will see you all later. Have a good night. See you next week. Bye.